I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Hey, let's see who's here. Nobody. Perfect. Means that my live stream is off to a great start. There's 3 people here. Well, then we are off to a good start, aren't we? Let's see who's here. I don't even know yet. 5 people. That's what I'd like to see. WAP is here. Welcome, WAP. Welcome. Let's get a couple more people in. I'm hoping tonight that we can get a solid group of our regulars in, and then if all goes well, maybe some of you will join me, which is always makes this a lot easier when we have more people involved. I just got to figure out how we do that because, like always, I tend to be a little forgetful. There it is. Let's grab that. Drop that in. Hey, buddy, how are you? Let's drop that right in there. See who wants to join tonight. So I'm hoping to discuss some opportunities that we all may be presented with in order to reduce our out-of-pocket cost when we're trying to get meats and other ingredients, and how to turn that around and be able to donate it back. It's actually an idea that Lance and I had run past each other yesterday as we were discussing merchandising, and just happened to come up that there's plenty of organizations out there that take food in almost, when you think about it, like a soup kitchen at a church, and that if we're able to get a hold of these goods, say as an example, they have pork butts and they have chicken thighs, maybe they have sausage, whatever it is that they bring into the soup kitchen, that we're able to use it for our own videos. That way we're not paying for the meats, and then in return for taking them in and cooking them, they're then returned as cooked products to be able to distribute to the needy. Or if we're looking at charity functions, the same type of idea, that they're turned around and given back to these charity functions. So let's see what we got. Got 6 people here already. Got Judge Wap, Niners Family Gaining. Let's see who else we got. And Judge Wap. So, solid group. I think there's some others here that are a little bit more shy. If you're lurking, you're not working. Looks like I'm going to have to go to my YouTube stream and take a look at exactly who's here and who's lurking in the background, and make sure that I turn the volume down. Looks like I'm going to have to go. Let's see here. Nope, it doesn't tell us who's here. It does zoom in on me whenever I look at the phone. Look at that, huh? That's crazy. I just saw that happen. So I wonder who can join us. I'm going to put this up here again. And you're welcome to jump on, have a discussion, help me out so that there's not this awkward silence, and we can open it up and have a little bit more of a discussion, even if it's by text, or if we can talk one-on-one or in a group about charitable functions that you've done, throw around some suggestions. I know that obviously as a volunteer firefighter, I'm able to purchase some of the meats, prepare them here. The newest device right there. Let's see if we can get there. If I lean over to go, that is the new Camp Chef XXL Pro Vertical Smoker. Right here is, let's see if I'm pointing at it right. where the wood chips go in. Right here is a 30-pound hopper. And if I get a chance to get up, I'll open up the cabinet and show you that it's quite large and has sausage hangers at the top. And prior to that, I had here we go, Weber Smoky Mountain right there, which was great. And what I found is the Weber Smoky Mountain will hold two, say 10 to 12-pound pork butts. This guy over here will hold at least two on each rack. And if I set the racks up properly, it'll hold six 10 to 12-pound pork butts. So as far as briskets go on this one, we're probably looking at 4 to 5 whole pack of briskets that I can fit on. And there he is, Lance himself, the gentleman who provided a little bit of insight, a little bit of brainstorming about what to discuss tonight. Lance was mentioning to me yesterday, as I was saying earlier, that he has a church that has like a shopping cart, grocery inventory of goods that people come in and shop for. And Lance also shared with me, I don't think he has a problem me sharing this, that semi-annually, even quarterly, they do events in their parking lot where people will prepare foods to give away to the needy. So one of the ideas that was kicked around is maybe Lance gets some of those goods, prepares them and brings them back. And if he just pinches a little bit off just to make sure that it's cooked properly, that it has the right flavor, the right seasoning, it's a great video because not only is he able to get those proteins and prepare them, but he's also able to use that in a charitable sense, that he's able to shoot the video and then return those goods back so that those that are less fortunate are able to enjoy his delicious barbecue. Where is the real meat stick gear? Great question. I think it's in the washer and dryer. The rest of the real meat stick gear, if we can get, hopefully Simon shows up. He doesn't know this yet, so I'm just going to drop it on him. If he can set up one of the races, and after having a discussion with Lance, the opportunity is there. There might be some brand new, fresh out the box, if possible, real meat stick swag, some gear that Lance potentially might be putting together for me in the form of towels, possibly aprons, maybe koozies when those are ready. He's still in the infancy stages of developing those, and from there we'll probably see some hats and T-shirts and the like. Oh, you like the backyard with the pit? Well, thank you so much, Hojo. Let me see if I can swing this around and show you what's on the other side. Let's see if it'll go that way. Nope, I can't get it all the way that way. So on the other side, on the other side of the camera, is actually a Weber Summit charcoal grill. But I guess we're not going to be able to get to that. And there's nothing dyslexic about that. And yes, it is a beautiful backyard. So thank you, dyslexic dad. Appreciate that. And that's what happens when you mess with your camera. Brought it right back. I probably shouldn't play with that because I don't want any more technical issues. Hopefully I'm back right now and I didn't mess it up. Just somebody put in the chat whether or not I showed up back on camera or when I touched that, I made a big boo-boo. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Did I mess that up or are we back on camera? I hope we get my daughter moved out by the end of the week. Things should be up and rolling. Oh yeah, I forgot we can do this too. Man, I need somebody who knows how to work all this at the same time. And thank you. There's your message, which I'm going to put up there. I'm going to put a star next to that because that's an excellent message. I appreciate it. And I am back. I am still with us. Thank goodness. Each day that I play with this, I get a little bit better at it. Hopefully that put the tracking back on. This camera is controlled by artificial intelligence. So when I move around, it moves around with me. And whatever I just did when I touched the camera to spin it around, took it off its gimbal. So now it's back like a head on a swivel going in the right direction. Hojo's saying he's going to be doing a Mediterranean pork shoulder tomorrow night on the smoker. He has to cook at night this weekend. Heat indexes 110 to 115 in Dallas. A brisk, humid afternoon. Holy moly, 115 degrees. No, it definitely doesn't need a warming cabinet. Oh my goodness. Maybe just throw a blanket over it and it'll maintain 140, 150, or put it right on top of the blacktop. That's amazing that you get temperatures that hot. I thought it got bad here with the bugs and the rain, but 110 to 115. That's killer. So who wants to jump in? Who wants to make this a little bit less uncomfortable and throw some ideas out there with regards to what type of charitable cooks, things that you've done, ways that you've reduced your out-of-pocket cost with regards to meats. In other words, you don't have a sponsor who's giving you meats. You have other functions that are going on, ways to be able to reduce or, as I say, mitigate those costs. Let me see if I can just take that and put that as a banner, and then somebody here can jump in. Hopefully I did that the right way. It looks disgusting. All right, we won't be doing that. Oh, Lance saves the day. Lance takes the pressure off at the last minute, comes in.
I was feeling bad for you there for a second when you said that. Take the pressure off, because I do hate to go live by myself. It's a task.
Oh my God, Lance, this one's for you, a Miller Latte. Thank you so much for making this easier on me.
No problem. I need to go turn my air conditioner on. We moved my daughter out of her house. She's putting her house up on the market, and she got a new house. She's actually just renting it right now, but it's on the water. So it's real nice, man. It's a real nice place, but you're an old man and the old man's wife and two other daughters. That's a lot of moving, you know. Everybody else is working, so and no one can afford to put out for a mover. So you make do with what you got. Let me go turn my AC on, Dave.
Yeah, see, Hojo, that's what I appreciate. Jumping in there, taking a proactive approach. So you and a buddy used to buy food and cook at your son's school back in the day and serve at sporting events. The only question I have for you is that food you were selling and then the money that was generated was given back to the school, almost like being a booster or a sponsor, or were you pocketing a couple of bucks in order to offset costs, and then the remainder of the money, which that makes sense, you got to cover your overhead, went towards other things, maybe other meals and other sporting events in the future? You just ate the cost. It was for the kids. That's charity that you put on your taxes every year as a charitable contribution.
Yeah.
Hey, look, my hat's off to you. Now it's back on.
Yeah, I heard you say something about Pastor Steve.
Yes.
And his food bank. We talked about that, as you said, the other night, and I think it's a great idea. It's it should have been something I should have just thought out of courtesy, to be honest with you. You know, even if it's not for his event, if it's at least to cook one and take it back, you know, to the church during the work week, so they could, you know, munch on it and have a lunch, you know, because they have a cafeteria in there and everything inside the church. So at least they had something where they could even little special, you know, different lunch, you know, instead of well, they, to be honest with you, sometimes they'll cook up what's donated to them just so they can get it used. But they also go out and order in pizzas, you know, from time to time. But I'm tired, man. You have to excuse me.
I hear you. I was taking just before I jumped on this, and the reason why I had to push it to 8:15, 7:15 Central. I was stuck in a course that I'm taking. They had a 2-hour discussion that should have ended by just about at 8 o'clock, and I saw it was going to run over, so I pushed it back 15 minutes, like I've seen others do, just to be safe. In fact, I've had locals, people from the fire department and their followers who have said that, oh, that's the fire department right now. Let's see, is it time for me to run for a call, or is this just a message of smoke alarm? So this is what happens, is at any point, I'm on call 24/7.
I saw it. Looks like a light flash first before the phone rung.
No, I will find out what's going on here in just a moment. Right now, it's a fire alarm. So we'll see.
Chat, it was nice talking to you.
You done? Okay.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying.
I'm not going anywhere. No. It's just a fire alarm. No. And here's the next problem. See this right here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's public that I'm drinking right now.
Right.
Right. So if someone was to go back and look at this historical document, and God forbid I'm out there and I trip and fall getting off the truck, they're going to say it wasn't workman's comp. It was that you were drinking alcohol when you got off the fire truck. You were recently drinking.
Right.
The moment that alcohol touches my lips, it becomes a liability. So this was planned tonight. If it's something that's a major catastrophe, then we got to do what we got to do. Then I got to make a move.
Right.
So I can prepare a meal with meat and sides, donate to the firehouse down the block, right off cost of charitable donation. What it costs you for the food, you're donating to the firehouse. Your time and effort is a different story. If you're a business, and you got to check back with your CPA. But if you're a business and you charge X amount of dollars per hour in order, say it's a flat fee, then that time that you're doing you might be able to recoup a portion of whatever that value is. However, with the food that you're purchasing, that also has a percentage that you're able to obviously write off because it's a consumable good, and you're not selling it at that point, you're donating it. And even if you did get paid, if you got money for that and you're able to show that you donated it back, then you made a charitable donation in the sense of financials, which would lower your tax liability. But again, I'm not a tax professional. I just have overheard this. A barbecue club. But that'd be great for my son when he gets into high school, even junior high school. I like that idea. They have a couple of offsets and parents volunteer to help coach the kids going to volunteer this fall. That is awfully Texas of your school. That is not something I can say that I would see here in Pennsylvania. Maybe like a pierogi event.
Yeah.
Or a horse and buggy type of event, but not barbecue like that.
This is so true.
Yes.
What's up, Guggen?
Yeah. So here in Pennsylvania, from what I've seen in my son's school and in some of the high schools, they do have home economics and cooking classes, but nothing with a barbecue. And I'm not sure if they use gas or they're using electric range tops. So
chewing,
that's
cracking on me.
mighty Texas.
I had my chair lowered so my legs would be at a proper elevation from my footstool. So I guess I got to jack it up a little bit.
It sounds like he's making a comment that you might be playing with your meat stick.
Hand chow. Oh yeah, I catch that part. Dude, I tell you what,
That's
man,
funny.
this hot weather is kicking butt, man. It's supposed to actually be one of the coolest days in weeks. I think today was like one of the hottest days, and there's that sun, there's an arrow on the weather report, temperatures dropping. And then tomorrow we're supposed to have one of the coolest days in weeks. Can't believe it. Weather's crazy.
I
I
don't
did
mind
get my
that.
chair, helping my daughter move. One that doesn't squeak every time I move.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new one. I got to bring it up tomorrow. But tomorrow's supposed to rain all day, so we'll see. Got
Yeah, I'm sitting out here and I hear the thunder already.
Got a 16-foot trailer already loaded. We ran out of time to take it probably an hour and a half south of where she was to a storage unit to unload it. So hope we'll get that done tomorrow. Spent 2 hours cutting the grass. Did you get it stuck again, Guggen?
Wow.
Little fun note. Guggen and his wife just acquired their first home on acres of land in Georgia. Beautiful looking place, from what I can see. Well, part of the deal was of his purchase is he purchased a zero-turn mower with the home. And Guggen was going to go out there and have all fun, or either that, or was trying to cut donuts in his own yard, and got his new to him zero-turn mower stuck in his yard.
He's out there making crop circles.
Not today. I did last week though.
So what's the likelihood if we're able to run a race and I can figure it out, which I probably won't because I don't think I have the software. If somebody else has the experience, they can jump in and do it. But what's the likelihood if the sun, the moon, the stars all line up, we can figure that out, that possibly, because you're the one that controls it, nobody knows more than you. I don't have a crystal ball. Would we be able to do any type of the real meat stick merchandise?
Yeah, we could do.
Based upon the discussion we had yesterday and the quantities.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I truly need the rest of this week to get my daughter out of this house. It's
Sure.
The real estate guy is actually in there tomorrow afternoon taking pictures of the place. So tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow afternoon, taking pictures of the property and the home, so it can be listed again. It actually was listed one time, but she sort of kind of changed her mind, and she found this place to rent. That's dude. I mean, in my life, I'll share a little picture from you. The picture's a little deceiving, but believe me, when you're there, it's a whole different view. Trying to find out where that picture is. Where'd it go? But anyhow, Dutch, Wepner, Chris, Chuck. Where in the world did it go? I'll have to dig it up. Don't wait for me. I've lost the picture. What's up, Alun?
Oh, great. There he is, the man himself. I like
But
that video he put out yesterday on bone marrow. That was very
Yeah.
impressive. That's a high-end item. I've
Yeah.
only seen a couple of people, backyard cooks, that are making bone marrow in the femur bone like that and really seasoning it up. And what I really like what Al was doing is that he's taken that concept and he's owned it by putting it into tacos, adding his own flair to it, his own ethnic flavors, which is that's what you should do. You should own whatever that item is.
Yeah.
Great video.
Yeah, I did see that. Because I'm not, I mean, I've heard of people eating bone marrow. I hear it's very good. But I've never had it myself. I've never seen it cooked. But I'm wondering, so in the bone, it looked like it had a color to it. But in the taco, it looked like it was more of like a opaque, you know, maybe even a gel consistency or something. Is that what I was seeing? Or was that something else that you had in that taco, Al? It just, I was looking for what I saw in the half shell or the half bone, and I'm pretty sure what I was seeing in the on the taco shell. It just looked different to me. But again, I'm not knocking it or anything. I've never had it, and I was just curious: is that what it looks like once it's removed from the bone?
Well, the consistency is almost like a gel flavor. It's it's very moist, very smooth. It does have almost like a jelly consistency when it's cooked properly. That's why when you go to some of these high end steakhouses, they add butter to that, and they end up making marrow butter out of it to put on top of a steak, and you pay a good deal of money for that.
Yeah,
And the
that's
other
what.
thing is, after that bone is done, it's nice to be able to use as a luge for shots. So you put the bone in the person's mouth and pour the scotch or the whiskey right down the gullet.
Yeah, that's what there was two comments that actually said that bone marrow compound butter.
That's it.
But Al was saying it's like a buttery when you taste it. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it had to be what was coming out of that bone. I just like I say, I'm just hate to sound ignorant, but I guess I get to sound ignorant.
It's a great item. Um, you definitely need to go to a butcher to find that. You're not going to get that in your grocery store. There's other bones that you can find, but the cut that Al showed, those long femur bones, that's something you really need to go to the butcher to get. Someone who is breaking down an animal
Yeah,
or orders that in specially.
yeah. There it is. That's her,
Lewis is here.
that's her backyard.
That's a gorgeous backyard.
That's the Potomac River back there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, real nice.
Uh-oh, he knows about that. You may have to give everyone a meat stick hat that is online since you can't run a game. Uh-oh, Lance, it's about to get very expensive. There's 10 people in here that he's talking about. We're going to need a hat right off the bat.
Ojo.
The only thing that's working in my favor is you haven't mastered the patch yet, so I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about the cost of what these hats are going to be with the patches on them. Save
No,
the
but-
day. Take your
No,
time.
well, this is true. We can't make a patch for it yet, but we can surely embroider onto a hat itself without the patch.
Oh, I'm sure you could. Thank you so much. So generous of you.
Just saying. But to answer your question earlier before I so rudely jumped off, I had trying to find that picture. I can get we can, like I said before, we can do the towels or something. I saw Simon hop up for a second,
Yes.
and he said something that he was busy right now.
Yes, he said he was busy and that because he is the master. Let's see. People asking me what I'm cooking. So am I cooking let's see. Here or am I cooking here at the what do you call that thing? The Old Smoky, or is it the Weber, or is it the one on the other side? Who knows? There's nothing on there. I just needed some background So I took the covers off of everything.
What is the
It's all
is
a
that
facade.
the white deck we see up there? Is that from the upper level of the house, or is that from something else?
The deck, with the white staircase. No, that
Yeah,
goes
white,
upstairs to the next level. So there's a 2-level deck.
it is. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It looked like it was close enough, but I didn't know if there was something else in the background I was seeing. Or what looks nice.
Now let's
It's a
see.
big deck.
How do we get to that? Oh, that deck up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge
So
deck.
there's a landing here,
Right.
and then it goes up to the top, and up there behind my head there's another grill up there. There's a gas grill. So in the wintertime, or if it's raining, I can go out the door, go right to the gas grill instead of coming down here and cooking in the back.
Right. Wow.
So one day when we all get to know each other and everybody's in the same location, I mean, one of the whole reason for getting this type of house was to have parties and entertain, but it's been very difficult doing that. I'm set up to be able to do it, and I would love to do a barbecue throwdown, whatever it takes. People that are local that want to come by, I would love to do a challenge with like a stick burning offset or a reverse offset instead of a standard offset for some of these pellets and see what that's like. And just do something live. I have the room.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also there's a kegerator down here with 2 kegs on
Is
at
that
all
right?
times. So
That's
it
nice.
does come with free beer while we're waiting for the food to cook.
Well, I would definitely have to work full time to keep all that up. So can't have too much party time on your hands. But
There's no party time.
yeah, I imagine.
This is it. This is my big social break for the week. If I'm not at the firehouse, then I'm over here doing, taking a little bit of a break, because what I like about, say, like this, the Weber, or that let's see if I get the camera to do it again. The Camp Chef is that I can set it and forget it and do work, so that every 40 minutes I'm not outside throwing a stick onto an offset. And I want the offset. I just don't want the time that it's going to take, that I have to sit at home and every 40 minutes throw a log on and maintain it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have time to do that if you're not in the business, to sit around and throw a log on.
It's definitely a relaxing burn or cook. That smell that comes off that stick burner while you're cooking is just it's amazing.
The 250-gallon smoker is not going on the second level. It's coming around the side of the house, and it's going to, let's see if it'll do it. It's not going to want to do it. It's going to, nope, it wants to stay on me. That's what happens when this thing's on automatic follow mode, so I can't make it go there.
Yeah, Lewis, we're still stitching everything. I'm sort of kind of taking a little bit of a break. My oldest daughter is putting her house in the market. She's getting out of that house, and she's currently moving into another place just to rent it for a change up.
Is that foo-foo beer?
But yeah, we're getting into some stuff. We're actually getting into some sublimation soon. I got a second embroidery machine. We're getting into koozies, embroidered koozies. We're going to do some vinyl heat presses. We're going to try to do some different stuff. I got a ink printer that'll print up to 13 by 19, I think it is. So other than that, I'll have to buy something bigger, which really is the way I was going to go with it anyway. I was going to buy people that can provide films on like a 4 foot by 4 foot or a 2 foot by 4 foot sheet, and you had to remove it from that sheet. But it's cheaper, it's a nicer printer. But when I drove a couple hours, 2.5 hours west of me, and she had a printer there too, so I just came home with it.
Yeah, okay. So Hojo, I agree with you. So when you're stuck at a location, you're going to a college football game, I completely agree with you. When I used to tailgate, I brought all the stuff out, and I have no shame in my game, to the Jet games. I never went into the stadium. I got there early in the morning, 4 hours before the game started, set up the TVs, the speaker systems, the grills, got everything out. I would take 4 parking spaces just to set my stuff up. Cook before the game, watch the game in the parking lot, cooking and eating, and then after the game, light up the grills again and continue cooking. So I
Yeah.
agree with you. That's the type of thing where you can do that.
Yeah.
But
No.
during the week when you're working, there's a bit of a challenge.
No, and that absolutely sounds like a great time. But I'll up you one, Hojo, and not because it's from experience, but on July 4th, no football game, but cooking. It was a stick burner, but with that water in the background and the waves cracking on the riprap, that was just an amazing time, and what a relaxing time. After it got dark, there's a town called Colonial Beach, Virginia. And they put a barge out on a river, and they started shooting off fireworks from Virginia. So it was a pretty cool time. Very good time.
Thank you.
So, are you
And
like?
no foo beer?
Are you like having? Do you like work every day of the week with the fire department? Are you paid fire?
No, I'm volunteer fire. I work 5 days a week, anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a day. And then I have some time that I get to spend with the kids and the family. But now I decided I'm going to start taking some more classes. And I didn't realize that just by taking 2 classes, how much time it was going to occupy, especially with the examinations and term papers and things like that. So I'm eating up that time as well. That's why when I set this thing up earlier today for 8 o'clock tonight, I said, I'm going to give myself plenty of time. I'll work through about 7:30, and then that'll give me a half hour to take a quick shower, get dressed, and get started. But at 7:55, that college course was still going. I'm getting another degree now. So that class was still going. So I pushed it till 8:15. See what we got here. There's a freaking war zone in my head on the 4th. I bet it was.
Yeah. Hojo, if that's replying to me, you're absolutely right. Because it wasn't Potomac Rivers. You must be talking about me. But yeah, it blew me away. I mean, the first time I ever saw it was that picture. And I was like, wow. And then, like I say, 3 hours later, next thing I know, and so a lot of people don't know. If you look at a map and you look at, we'll use Colonial Beach, Virginia, or Montrose, Virginia, or anything over there what they actually call like Northern Neck will be Route 3s, Route 17s, and the Maryland shoreline. Actually, the Maryland property goes all the way across and up to the dirt on the Virginia shoreline. All that water is actually Maryland. The only thing that's Virginia is from the dirt in towards their paved roads and stuff like that. That was another learning thing. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a pretty awesome thing. I can't wait to go back there and go fishing. The very next day, they had their lines out, and she called me and like, how do I get this skate? She got a skate. They hooked a skate. So it's how do I get this thing off? I said, well, get yourself the poor man's scallops. They actually punch circles
Yes.
out of a skate to make artificial scallops. They taste pretty good, to be honest with you, but they're not the same thing. But she says, I'm not doing that. I said, just cut your string, cut your line.
Excuse me for a second. I got to open up another beer. I'm going to try out this bottle opener that they put on this on the smoker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm almost as far as you can go in Maryland before you're actually in Virginia, Hojo, like King George, Virginia, that type of thing. King George, Fredericksburg is probably a little well-known area because all the Civil War battles that were done there. And it's if you do a little bit of research, you'll be amazed of how many Civil War generals were actually born in the same vicinity of Virginia. It'll amaze you. George Washington, I think it's James Madison. Was it Monroe, the third one? There's several of them, and all like in a very tight area of Virginia. It just amazed me. And you can still tour all their homes and stuff like that, but Fredericksburg is a huge tour area where you can go and see the battlegrounds and stuff like that. They've protected it pretty well, but it's a cool area.
You just got a weather alert that there's a severe thunderstorm on its way up this way. So if it starts to rain, I'll just move this inside. But for now, all I hear is thunder.
Yeah, they have. They're calling for a lot of rain here tomorrow too, starting at 1:00 a.m. I think, which we're probably about 4 hours away from each other, 3 hours.
Yep.
Between 3 and 4.
It takes me 2.5 hours to get from here to Philly. So you're probably an hour out of Philadelphia, hour and a half.
Oh, you're a PA.
Yeah, I'm in PA.
I was thinking New York.
No, I'm originally from New York. That's why I have this Brooklyn accent.
So we're probably definitely more closer, like 3 hours then.
Yeah. Are you closer to Harrisburg or are you closer to Philadelphia?
Harrisburg.
Okay, so for me to get to Harrisburg is about 2 hours, and then shooting down towards, say, like for me to get to Baltimore is going to take me 3 hours.
I can be in York. In probably under 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, to York, not New York, to York.
York, PA.
Yeah, York could take me 2.5 hours to get to York. 2.5 to 3 hours easily.
Yeah, I could probably do it on a weekend, early in the morning, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be like dang near perfect conditions,
Right. Yeah, there's a cannery that's not too far from York, Hanover. That's what it is. So Hanover, Pennsylvania would take me 3 hours. York will take me 2.5.
Well, then is it Hanover? Is that
like Snyder's a Hanover pretzel or Utz potato chips?
Hershey? Is that
Hershey, PA is before Harrisburg, so that'll take me 2 hours to get there at least. Yeah. It's an hour from here to Allentown, and then probably another hour from Allentown to Harrisburg. So, call an hour and 40 to 2 hours.
I remember as a kid going on school field trips, going through that Hershey Park amusement park.
Yes.
And being able to tour the Hershey chocolate factories and stuff like that. That was a blast.
It's changed considerably from when I'm sure when you were a kid and you went to go.
Oh, I'm sure.
Someone recently told me the chocolate's not made there anymore. It's made in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember that. I mean, it was because I did it twice, but it used to be a pretty cool field trip. And I was probably 10 years old, so I had memory of it. But then when my children were in school, my oldest, I actually chaperoned the trip. And there was a change between the time I went.
Yep.
As far as like the upgrades and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Enjoyed it.
Let's see. Let's try to catch up with some of these messages. What do they make Special K from? Talking about artificial, what do they make the crab with the K from? Oh, that's made from fish byproducts. If he's talking about like the what's in the sushi rolls, the fake crab, the pink stuff.
Yeah.
The pink and white stuff. Yeah, I think that's made from fish byproducts, like
the fake cone looks like a
pollock.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like a snow crab leg or something. They put that orange streak on it.
Yep, that's exactly it.
You could actually flavor that stuff up pretty good. So, like, if you wanted to do a, where am I going with this? Let's say pot pie.
Pot pie.
Yeah, pot pie, seafood pot pie. Yes, sir. That stuff that works good.
Oh, Niners. That's right. He's in Maryland as well. So he's 45 minutes out of York.
Yeah, he's in Western Maryland.
Okay.
One day we'll get together. Um, I actually, the Fourth of July weekend, I was supposed to go up with my That's right. Bat's even in the sort of what, somewhat in this same area. He's in PA also.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. I haven't done. I have one planned, Lewis, but no, I haven't done one lately. But I do have one planned.
And what type of pot pies do you usually make? Chicken, beef?
I try to be a little different, and I'm still, I'll be perfectly honest with you. And I'll say this because I went over and was caught up on some videos of Panchuco's uh, beginning of this week or last weekend,
Hmm.
and that man put out a chicken pot pie that was so stuffed and loaded and looked so good. Um, that is the pot pie master. But I still cheat. When I got into it, Dave, my plans were to make my own dough, roll it out. Now I'm just rolling out, store bought stuff because I was getting my feet. I've never made a pot pie,
Yep.
so I wanted to get my feet wet and try some different recipes before, I dove in. So I buy like the what do they call it? It's the crispy top. What do they damn it, it's right off the tip of my tongue right now. Croissant
Well,
dough.
the pie
Yeah,
crust?
for the
Yeah.
top.
Wow.
The top, and I actually use a regular pie crust for the bottom. So I'll roll them out on some baker's sheets. I'll roll them out and cut them. I can usually get one pie after I roll it out will give me, so I think it's 4 or 5 6-inch pot pies. So I'm just making, it's just my wife and I at home. So if I make this huge thing, it's just going to go to waste. So I make a bunch of little 4-inch ones, and I'll freeze them. I'll cook one for the video, and I'll freeze them. And my children usually come by and raid the freezer every once in a while. Uh, I'm ashamed to admit, man, after all those seafood ones, don't get me wrong, I love them, but that breakfast pot pie that I did, that had to be the best pot pie I've ever had. The scrambled eggs in it, the sausage, bacon, it was so good. It was so good. And I cheated on that one too. I did a white jar white sausage gravy.
Delicious.
It was so good. That Heinz, if you see that Heinz home
Hmm.
style in the jar, just pick up a jar and try it. And don't dilute it with anything. Just use it straight out the jar. Don't like try to thin it out. Keep it thick. Man, that stuff was so good. But that's it. So I did. I do have another pot pie coming, and it is seafood related.
Right.
It's not using the fake seafood though, but this will all be legit um, seafood. I bought I found around here. We used to be able to get blue crabs for just about nothing. I mean, you can get a whole bushel. This was just only a few years back.
Right.
You can get a whole bushel of blue crabs, and a bushel, depending on the size, could be anywhere from 6 to 7 dozen. What's up, Simon?
Welcome to the rain. I got to bring this inside.
Okay, you used to be able to pick that up for about $100. Now you're lucky if you can touch them for $250 and up. Well, there was a guy that actually was trying to get rid of some around Father's Day, and I broke down because I refused to pay that kind of money for them. and but I gave him $150. But the wife and I, I steamed them up. We picked crabs for that evening. But then a couple of days later, I sat down and I picked probably 5 dozen of the crabs, and so I've got 4 1-pound bags of vacuum sealed crab meat. I got back fin versus regular crab meat.
Hmm.
So that'll give you a little bit of a hint. One of them bags will be used in the next Popeye, and it's not another crab cake Popeye. So 6 for 100 crabs.
6 crabs for $100. Those must be like
King crabs?
whale size.
Yeah.
No. That's got to be whale size. Because the last price that I got going down to Delaware to pick up crabs, the large were going to run me as a special $250 for a bushel, and then the number one males extra large were going to run me $3.25.
Yeah.
So based upon volume, it would have made sense to just take the large. However, when you have more crabs, it's more work to have to clean them all.
Yeah. You used to be able to get only 3 years ago, Simon. At one time around here, because I live in a waterfront community. I'm not on the water. I'm in the area where there's water that surrounds this neighborhood on 3 sides of it. So because of that, crabs were, relatively inexpensive. A lot of the guys were, retired from their jobs out on Pax River Base or something like that, military, and they became waterman type thing where they would crab and put out trout lines. And that's something else I learned too. I could talk all day. When I start talking shit, I learned so much, and I'd like to share that experience. Texas has got a trout line where it's a baited hook, and it's normally used. It's the same difference as a crab trout line, except the Texas it's actually a trout. I think one's a trout line and the other's a trout line. But the one in Texas, it hooks, and they'll set that line out and with fish bait on it, and they'll catch fish, come in the next day, and they'll harvest the fish off that line. Well, in the crabbing, the trout line, it usually has like a salted eel, chicken neck, piece of chicken, something tied to it, and it's stretched out in the river also. But you take your boat and you go real slow down this line, and on the back of the boat you have like a elbow that's coming off your boat, and it's usually made out of PVC, and your trout line, both ends are weighted and marked with buoys so no one runs over your lines. But you take that trout line and you pull up over top of the PVC. So as you follow that trout line with your boat, that line is coming up over the PVC and returning back into the water on the back side of it. So when you see that crab coming up near the surface on the front side of that piece of pipe, you better be ready to dip him, because once he gets that close to the surface, he's going to release from that piece of chicken. You just lost your crab. That's the difference between the Texas fishing trout line and the Maryland trout line for crabs. But Simon, I'm sorry. So you used to be able to get 6 to 7 dozen in one bushel basket of crabs for $100 around here. Now, $250. It's probably an average price, but $275, $300. They're trying to get that now in 3 years' time, and I just refuse to pay it. So, depending on the size of the crabs, you could get 6 dozen in the basket. You could get 7 dozen in the basket.
You never use the crab pots? You never drop the crab traps out there with a piece of chicken and you come back the next day or hours later?
Yeah, you can do that. There are people to do that. I actually have acquired, since I retired, I have acquired my, and it's the last time I got to pay for it. Boom. Next year, because I'm 65 years old, all my fishing license and all that are free of charge to me. Okay, so, but I actually have what they call a what do they call that? Recreational crabbing
Permit.
license that'll allow me to use only 2 pots, and I'm only allowed 1,200 foot, I think it is, of trout line. Now, if I had a commercial license, they're like next to impossible to get in Maryland anymore. Most people, families that are legit watermen, they'll pass those on down each generation. Every once in a while, you'll see one for sale. If you've got a cool $6,000, you could probably pick up that commercial license to be able to crab. And if that's the case, you're pretty much unlimited to how many pots you can put out. And I think you can have. I don't hate to even say because I'm not exactly right. I think you can have over 2,000 foot of trout line, and you can have more than one of those. That's the difference between a commercial and a recreational. So there's a huge difference there.
And what's your daily catch limit? How many bushels are you allowed?
Recreational is only allowed, I think it's 1 bushel of crabs
A day.
a day.
Yeah.
Day. Now, if you lived on the water, Dave, and you had a pier in the state of Maryland, because they're really getting scared. The snakehead invasion, I'll call it, has really killed a lot of our our crabs. The rockfish population, from what I understand, they even like to eat the baby crabs. Maryland and Virginia, probably Maryland more than Virginia, was really getting scared about the number of crabs that we had in our waters. They were dropping off so badly. So, but if you had a house with a pier on it, they would only allow you to put 2 pots out on that pier. And that was part of the restrictions, and that's why the recreational license was cut back drastically to what you could catch, and that's why it's so hard to get a waterman's license, because there's so many of them that were given out over the decades that it's they don't just hand them out like candy anymore.
I remember when I was living in New York, we used to go out and take advantage of, with a scoop net, catching the crabs right off the pilings on the dock. And then at other times, a buddy of mine, we would go out on his boat early in the morning, run across the Raritan into New Jersey, drop pots along the way, and then we would hand line the crabs in on a piece of chicken. So we did both. We dropped the pots in the morning, come back for those in the afternoon, and try to load up on as many crabs as possible.
Yeah.
And I was allowed a certain quantity, and he was allowed a certain quantity.
I remember when I was probably, I wasn't a teenager. It was just my mom and I, and sometimes, without getting deep into it, sometimes mom and I, we were able to, get back together. She had a girlfriend of hers that had a home in a place called Chesapeake Beach.
Right.
So in Chesapeake Beach, you used to be able, at one time, you could actually walk the beach, because it was a happening place, but not like it is currently. But I've told my daughters, and I still remember, you could just walk along the beach with a basket and a dip net and just dip up crabs. And at that point, if you timed it right, you can actually pick them up during mating season. So you were doubled up. You could get 2 crabs in one dip, because they were actually doing their thing, swimming along, and you would just, you could dip them up. And like you said, go out, walk out on piers and see the pilings to go into the water.
Yep.
It was nothing to see 4 or 5 crabs hanging on the side of that thing. It was. It used to be so plentiful. about the crabs. It's crazy versus back then when I can remember versus now.
So
It,
you took the males and the females. You didn't throw the females back with the eggs.
now there is protected times with the females, but
Mhm.
I'm talking about back in the 60s, the mid to late 60s,
Right.
where there wasn't a restriction on females. Not
Right.
that
There
I
was you didn't have the same conservation effort in order to repopulate the population of crabs that we were taking.
right,
There was also back then abundance of crab too.
right. That's
Hmm.
what I was just saying. I mean, it blows me away because I have that memory of just being able to walk along the beach, and I mean, crabs was something you feared about when you got in the water. Now you can't just walk along the beach and see, you know, I don't know, 10 crabs swimming within a less than
Sure.
half a block walk, but um, it's a huge difference. But now with the female thing, Dave, what you're saying, they actually have you can and don't quote me on this, but I think I'm pretty accurate on it. A mature female crab you can keep these days. A mature female crab will no longer produce a crab, and there is a way to look at it on the shell. I mean, you can tell on the back underside of a crab, the complete difference between a male and a female.
Right.
While the mature male is a little bit different yet from the female crab, where she will no longer produce a baby crab. I'm not the pro on this, but that's what I have been told.
When
Yeah.
you would go out, did you get soft shell crabs too when they were just going through the molting?
Um, I no, I have not. I not back then. I don't remember that, but there is a guy that he does actually what you're talking about. He's still crabbed. He's one of those guys that gets $250 a bushel, but he has like a kiddie pool in his backyard. So he's built like and it's so simple. So if you want to be a waterman and catch crabs and all that, then you got to keep them crabs at a certain temperature, or you're going to lose them because they're out of water. But if you keep them in this guy has just a wooden shed that he bought, a small wooden shed, and he put a Rmax insulation up on the perimeter of this thing to try to make it a little bit more insulated. And he cut a hole in the wall, and he has a little window shaker in there, a 110 unit plug-in AC unit that he uses in there. And you'd be amazed when you open that door how cool it keeps, those crabs. So if you catch a bushel of crabs, when they're cold like that, it's almost like they're dormant. You could pick them up, you can handle them, you could put your finger in their pinchers and their claws and everything, and nothing's really going to happen. I mean, I would still be cautious with it, but once them crabs start warming up at all, do not put your fingers in the claws.
Yeah, yeah. When they're when they put them like in ice and all, you
Yeah,
pick them up. It's almost like they're dead because they just
yeah.
you
Yep.
know.
If
But
you look at my last crab cook video, I just did one out because a guy came around. It was close to Father's Day, or it was Father's Day, and it was $150. And the wife says, "Sure, let's do it." Because I mean, we live on a budget, and she says, "Sure, let's do it." So we hadn't had them for over a year, probably almost 2 years. Um, but those crabs you'll see in that pot, and there was a lot of editing in there because I was chasing crabs down the down the driveway and underneath cars and stuff in the driveway because they came right out the back of his pickup truck, and it was sort of like a surprise visit. And I'm like, I said, I asked my wife Michelle, let's do this. She says, sure. So and so time I got all my old crab cooking stuff out and got the water, steaming, them crabs were like they're ready to eat through the crab basket, to get themselves out here shortly. But not that would happen, but that's exaggeration. But once you open up that lid, it looked like ants coming out of an anthill. they just start pulling over the sides. And that's because they were so warm and ready to go. Normally, if you buy a bushel basket of crabs from a waterman or something, they come out of some type of an ice box. And you could actually go in there and grab them one by the hand.
Yep.
But when they're that warmed up and lively, you need to have some nice tongs on you or you're going to get lit.
Yeah, they attack.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They start reaching up and they grab at everything.
I mean, you can hear them. I mean, listen to that video.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Very aggressive when they're warm.
Yeah,
I got to go cover the smokers. I'm going to let you guys just chat for a second while I go grab. I just put a cover on the smokers because I forgot that if I don't do that, then the ones with the pellets, I'm going to end up having to do a major clean out. I'll be right back.
Definitely. What's
But,
up, Mr. Chuck?
huh?
So what's up, Mr. Chuck?
I'm not happy.
You're not happy.
Not with what went on the other night.
Oh, yeah, that's behind us. That
Well,
guy,
that's behind you, but it still got me worked up.
yeah. Well, I guess the good part about it is that he's never emailed me yet, so there's nothing going his direction at this point. And
I'm about ready to revoke his win.
yeah, well, I mean, he probably may have done it himself. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people really like the guy. I don't know. I guess he and I have just got a personality complex or conflict or something.
I know he really got me worked up.
That was the second week in a row.
Yeah.
The first week he hit me on one of my videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came back at me in one of my videos in a comment, asking if I was making fun of him, and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not wasting breath on him,
Yeah, you don't do that on a video.
Yeah. But anyhow,
you do it on a live, that way you can ban him.
Yeah. But then when he came in that last night or the other day, I was like, Jesus.
We were on Simon, right? Taco Tuesday.
So, geez, it's the same guy. I mean, what is he? Is he after me or what? But anyhow, that's water on the bridge. But I have seen him on another live since then.
Yeah, I was on one earlier, and I think he was on that one, and I was about ready to say something to him then, but I said no. This is a different live, you know.
I would just let it go, Chuck. But he was on Drunken Chefs.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, he had a live last night, and he was telling everybody like what had happened during his, which sounds to me like the suspension thing is really sort of kind of over for him and Little Chef. He had that live last night, so he was telling people, sort of kind of what happened.
A lot of people gave him some good information, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, he's still not sure if
he can't get a straight answer, just like you.
Yeah.
When you were trying to get your crap straight,
yeah,
they couldn't give you a straight answer.
Well, he still doesn't know if someone actually turned him in, or did YouTube actually make that decision? Because he said in his live last night that Little Chef was actually like behind the camera by herself with Drunken Chef right beside her. You could still hear him when he talked.
Yeah.
He was that close. But it was like 40 minutes, I think he said, 45 minutes.
They were getting ready to go off.
Right. And then all of a sudden, click.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not sure if it was actually a legitimate YouTube thing or if someone actually complained, that there's a child running a live video and so someone may have turned him in. I'm not too sure what happened there, but.
Well, that's just like Rick. He was doing a live. He was having fun, drinking beer, had some music playing. Well, they warned him twice, and the third time they just took him down.
You just said Rick. I thought, wasn't he supposed to go live? Isn't tonight his new live night?
No, he switched.
Monday to Thursdays.
Was it?
I think so.
I haven't got no notification for him to go live.
Well, my phone has been going crazy, but it's because
Right.
Bat left a comment on a short I put up. Um,
There
one
he is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think the internet burped for a second there, and I was all of a sudden I walk in. I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah.
I thought
But
it was
in the honor of Bat, went ahead
Yeah.
and got my Batman bottle opener for him.
that's something else I'm looking at too. I looked at them when I bought the koozies because I
Yep.
had a special order, the unsewn koozies. I'm looking at those. It almost looks like it's not a paracord, but it's about a 4 to 6 inch long woven material with a key ring on the end of it, and you can embroider something in the woven part of it.
Right. Right.
It's probably the next thing I'm going to look at, but right now I got to get these koozies under control. But I just
Yeah,
don't have.
man, everybody wants them like crazy.
Yeah, and I want to do them. I'm excited about doing them, but I just I don't have the time just to give to them right now. After this weekend, I should be. Monday might be an iffy day, but after this weekend, I should be good to go.
Right. I still got to get mine hanging right there in that empty spot.
Your towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, so I sort of got off track, but that guy that we're talking about,
Contact Lance. You want one?
thank you, Chuck. But he was in Chef's Lives, and a lot of people were responding back and forth to him, by name. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a bad night for the guy. 2 nights, I should say, for the guy. But it's just I'm
Well,
old, dude.
The,
I'm getting old, and I'm
profile
tired of.
picture of him almost looks like the Joker without makeup.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I mean, no offense, I'm not making fun of him or nothing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
well, if I give anything else away, there will be a stipulation.
We talked about that a little bit. That we're talking about, the North America type thing.
Right.
I had no idea the guy wasn't from the USA. I had no idea.
He's in the Philippines.
Don't know who he is. And when he had something to say to me a couple weeks ago, we didn't talk about where he was from or anything. He was I mean, for him to say what he said in that live, I was like, I don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
And it seemed like he kept egging on.
yeah. But this is Dave's live.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
Well, Dave was involved. He was there. He knows what's going on.
What, last night?
Taco Tuesday.
Oh, Taco Tuesday. I was there for Taco Tuesday, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen you in there.
Yes.
There's a lot of streams I just stay back and lurk. There's a couple that I get into, so to speak. Yours, Tom's.
I am gonna spill the beans here, and Dave's gonna really appreciate this. Dave might even what's up, NBL?
Hey, NBL, buddy.
Dave might. I'm not sure if we talked about this yesterday or not, Dave. We had a pretty long conversation, but
We did, yes.
some of our conversation was cut off due to reception. But on one of the Gringo and the Mexicans lives coming up soon. So we know how we have all these family gatherings in our backyards, and we're all, for the most part, either established or backyard cooks or backyard cooks that are definitely getting heavier into it. I see it all the time. If you watch Facebook,
Yeah.
Judge Jeff, he's putting up a lot of pictures of his cooks now, doing some excellent work. Troy V is putting up a lot of pictures, and these guys were like, at one time really didn't get into, cooking that much, or at least if they did, they weren't posting their pictures. So anyhow, it's like, what we do is about backyard family gatherings and friends and family. And wouldn't it be great to know CPR should someone be choking on some dry meat that you happen to overcook one day? Or maybe they are eating their corn on the cob too fast and start choking on it. So the Gringo and the Mexican are going to be very shortly going to be bringing up a CPR class, live CPR during one of our lives. So stay tuned to that. Obviously, we'll announce it ahead of time. But that I've already signed it up. I've already talked to the instructor. He has assured me that it's something that can definitely be done. It would be better, obviously, if we were all in the same room with him and we had the hands-on with the mannequin. But he can simulate it well enough that he can get his point apart or his point across to where we can hopefully save our family member or our friend and advance or definitely help them out until the real medics arrive. Right. So I thought that was cool shit.
That's a great idea.
I'm outdated, but I've been CPR trained a couple times.
Yeah. I belong to a little sportsman's club, so I'm trained and certified on stop the bleed, CPR and stuff like that too. But
well, with my job, we had to have it.
Yeah, it never hurts to have additional training. I don't care.
Hi, Leslie.
It's just great to have the extra training, the refresher course.
Yeah.
Well, again, I keep picking on myself all night long. When you're as old as I am, there's a lot of stuff.
Hey.
I'm not picking on. I'm not telling anybody you're older than me, Chuck. But it's. I see it, Guggen, but it's just you be surprised how much you forget. I mean, when I was helping moving this furniture and all that, I mean, I've always been a physical worker. Everything I've ever done, it's either been construction, UPS, remodeling. After UPS, I got my license in Maryland to conduct, buildings on existing buildings and remodeling and stuff like that. A lot of demolition, but man, in 10 months' time, I sat my ass down several times to take an extra breath because it kicked in. My wife says I'm getting soft already. So it really surprised me. And the memory thing, that's what I was talking about, this refresher course. You remember, how did I do that before? I catch myself, how did I do that before? I mean, it comes back to me, but you don't have those seconds, when someone's choking on, a piece of meat or something like that. So, don't be too proud.
I was about a week, maybe 2 weeks trained. And this trooper and I, good friend of mine, Maryland State Police, we responded to a crash on the outer loop of the 495 Beltway.
Yeah.
Over in Montgomery County. And we wound up having to give him CPR.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I don't know if he made it or not. They were still working on. I like it because the fire departments had that neurogagement where they hook it to the chest and it's got like this foot that does the compressions.
That's an expensive machine. Around here, the paramedics have that.
Yeah. Well, Montgomery County, that's one of the richest counties in Maryland,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that gets strapped onto the patient by the EMTs and the paramedics as they're taking them to the hospital. So it's always giving them compressions.
And the good thing about it was Holy Cross Hospital wasn't but a stone throw away. Well,
Yeah.
matter of fact, there was 2 hospitals that were a stone throw away.
I got a fun fact for you. Recently was just listened to in Montgomery County. For no real known reason, their hummus consumption has increased by 30,000 pounds in a year.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
they don't know. They don't know.
It tastes better than KY jelly.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, their consumption was like 30,000 pounds increased for hummus for Montgomery County.
See you, Lewis.
How about a shot before you leave? This guy, he sends me a shot glass, and him and I never get a shot together.
I know.
Single tequila. Is it too much to ask for? Just
He,
one. A good tequila. Good.
You said something about, I think, on his last live or your last live, and
I know.
that never happened.
He sent me a great looking. Wait till Saturday. Oh, I'm gonna wait, but something tells me that we're gonna have more than one shot. Hey, look who's decided to join us. There he
Hey,
is.
Brother Simon.
I
Simon.
knew he'd finally come in here.
What's up?
What, you
How
got
are you,
some
pal?
new camera rig? So I just saw a
It's an old camera rig, but it's facing down instead of over.
Oh, okay. I was like, boy, look at
You're
him
in a different room.
turning the ricer on us.
Yeah, I mean, I can do like multiple cameras. If I'm doing like a cook, I can have like a face cam and then have one facing down at the whatever I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Where am I? There we go. What's going on?
Oh, we're just sitting here talking about this, that, and the other.
We're talking about hummus currently.
Well, how do you know hummus tastes or how much KY jelly tastes better than hummus?
Great question. That's an excellent question. And the silence sets in. Nobody wants to answer that question.
Well, I was reading. Lewis's.
Yeah, he's going to the store. He's going to get some goodies for Saturday. He's running to the store. He'll be back soon. He's probably going to pick up a fine tequila and whatever goodies he's maybe preparing for Saturday.
Right,
I don't know what the show's about, but it might have to do with that. Or he's got another party, and he'll break free from the party, do his video, and then get called away to the party again.
The new.
I've probably said more words to trumpet tonight than I have in a long time. It's
The new SRX season started tonight, and that's, if you see me look that way, that's what I'm watching.
yeah. I see Leslie saying play trumpet. I would like to see him play one time.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I like to see Tom play his drums again.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I like. Well, he did a. I think the last time I saw him play his drums, he was doing a drum beat over Hammy's song. He put a drum beat over her song.
Right.
That was probably 2 months ago.
You talking about the one Hammy sent him?
She's done several of them, so I'm not sure which ones you're referring to. But yeah, she's actually sent him a couple of them. I think the last one she did, something happened in the uploading of it or something like that. That it didn't. It didn't say it didn't. The drums weren't attached on her end after he did his thing.
I know that the young lady is very, very. What the heck's the word?
Did you see the barbecue song she did?
About everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Cool. That was pretty cool.
I love that. That's my theme song. I got that as a ringtone. That's right. New Year's Eve he was playing.
Yep.
Wasn't that on what was it? You and George's live, right?
Yeah, it was George because he got like 30 something copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am shamefully. I had a great time, but I shouldn't say I'm shamefully. I had a great time. It was just that's the bottom line. I had a great time, but there's a good bit of those hours that I don't remember.
Hey, it was New Year's Eve, buddy. You got to have a good time.
And I was home. I wasn't on the streets.
Exactly. So was I.
It was like 30 or 40 other people.
Yeah, I actually got scared because someone said something about me getting partially naked, and I was like, "Oh my God, please tell me that wasn't
Now
true."
that I don't.
That was a good
remember.
night, huh?
That was
Yeah,
random.
well, fortunately, they couldn't keep a straight face long enough,
Oh.
so thank God, because I would have scared a lot of people that night if that ever happened. But it was a good time.
Your little frog did make an appearance a couple of times.
Yes, we were, NBL.
Your little frog made an appearance there a couple of
Oh
times.
yeah, the little frog. That part I do remember. The other part I remember is
I think you did get up and dance for us a couple times.
oh, that's quite possible. It was Simon. No, not Simon. Quint came in the chat and he told me, he says, "Lance, you need to go to bed." I remember that. I remember him telling me I need to go to bed, and I was like, "Wow,
Okay,
I must not be in full control here." So it's time for me to sign off. But
That was almost like an 8-hour live too, wasn't it?
it was longer.
and I don't drink liquor. You know, I enjoy my beer. I love my beer. Well,
Yeah.
I do want to drink, but if I do drink a liquor, I use like a vodka and orange juice mostly. But I really like a sipping liquor would be a Di Serrano.
Yeah.
I like, if I'm going to sip on some liquor, I like Bailey's Irish Cream.
I killed almost that whole bottle of Di Serrano. I haven't touched that bottle since New Year's.
NBL says you had a lampshade on your head.
I did not, MDL.
He had a lampshade. He had a lampshade, and Christy had the bucket.
That's funny.
I did not. But I do admit I got a little scared about that getting partially naked thing. I was like, "Oh God, please tell me no, that didn't happen."
No, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
Randy
that
Moon.
was a great night. I hope we get to do it again this New Year's.
I think we talked about the time you were found naked in the or half naked in the front yard.
In the van, wasn't it?
In my van, yeah, in my van.
Yeah.
I used to at one point I was still driving for UPS, and I had I'd already started the construction side of the business, and I used to do a lot of camping. Used to go. I love being outside, love being out in the outdoors, enjoying the nature. And sometimes when my friends would get together and I couldn't get together, pull in a camper, I would just take my van. I had a new, fairly new cargo van that was it had air conditioning, everything in it, and the back had a little plush, mat in it, and I throw some moving blankets in there and a pillow and some other blankets, and that would be my camper for a night, just so I can, be with my friends that one night and then get back out in the morning and go back to work. Well, one of those times I'd never had what they call Fireball.
Yep.
Oh my God. I've never had Fireball again since.
I got about an 8-pack down here.
No way. Keep it in Hagerstown or Gaithersburg. It's I paid dearly that night, and I woke up and I have no idea, but I must have got up and had to go to the bathroom and just left my pants around my ankles, and that's how I woke up the next morning. That's why when someone said something about getting naked, I was like, "Oh God, please don't tell me that happened."
I remember those days.
Yeah,
You
when
go,
you're young, you know, and
you go to the bathroom, you sit on the toilet, and then that's it.
yeah,
You wake up, your neck's hurting because you've been passed out on the toilet.
yeah,
Your knees hurt.
Your,
It's
your
like-
leg, your legs, you can't move because they don't fell asleep better than you.
yeah.
They found one of my sisters passed out on the toilet one New Year's Eve.
It's all right. Yeah, if it's Fireball, I could believe it. Bat said it's a killer. It is, and that's the first time I ever had that stuff, and it punished me good that night. Like I say, I'd never touch it again.
Problem with that stuff is if you get too many shots, all that sugar is gonna come back come up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all that cinnamon.
It's sugar for me. Like, yeah.
I was at a friend's house. I'm going to say within the last 4 weeks, and we were just drinking tequila. We were having one margarita after another, but because we stayed with a premium tequila and premium mixers that were in that margarita, nobody had a hangover the next day. However, during the party, though, most of us blacked out to the point, and I'm not saying who it is because I'm not going to get anybody into trouble, but somebody's little kid, and it wasn't mine, left the house and went around the block, and the neighbor found the kid and started going house to house to try to figure out whose kid it was.
oh no way.
That's how blacked out we were.
Uh,
Yeah, no, that's
The kid just the baby just left the house, and by
Yeah.
baby I'm saying under 3 years old left the house,
wow.
opened the front door and took off.
that would be terrible.
Yeah,
That would be terrible.
yeah. We
Yeah,
don't do that
the
around here.
bad thing about it is they can get out, but they can't get back in.
No, he knew what house to come back to.
Yeah,
Right.
It was the neighbor. Fortunately, the kid could have been stolen. Walked around the block, and the kid pointed to the right house.
Wow. No, that's crazy. I would be totally devastated if that was me. I would never touch alcohol again for the rest of my life. If that happened to me.
Yeah.
I promise you. I take it. I would take it. That would. I can remember. Since we're talking about children, my oldest daughter has that sort of like a sense of humor about her, and to this day, I can remember my wife coming home and she sent my daughter to her room, and my wife was still highly upset, and you could tell she had been crying. Well, my oldest daughter, you go into some of the grocery store or clothing stores, and they've got these, these big circle racks where they got all these.
Right.
My oldest got up inside of there, and she could see her mother, but her mother couldn't see her.
Oh, she was hiding.
She was hiding from her mother. She didn't come out when Michelle was calling her. And my wife, first, like Dave just said, first thing came to her mind, someone kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And my oldest daughter, she was like, at 7 years old, what's up, Russ? She knew how to turn the screw, and she got more kicks out of that, So
What's up, you old fart?
she purposely had stayed hidden for an extended amount of time, and she got a severe talking to when she got back home, and my wife was so
Russ is
upset.
talking to Yatu.
What's that?
I think Russ is talking to Yatu over there on the right side. Old dude.
What's up, Russ? We got any freeze-dried videos coming out this week?
Well, I sent him the link. I don't
Okay.
even have to ask. I know he's coming in.
All right, after another 7 hours.
I've already rolled out the red carpet. I know who's coming now.
Yeah.
He's not going to disappoint.
One of the OG barbecuers.
3, 2, 1, and Russ is here.
What's up, bro?
What's up, Russ?
Nothing
Howdy.
much. Just got finished editing this week's video.
Of course you did.
Is it freeze dried?
It is.
Okay.
Nice.
My wife has been bugging the crap out of me to do candy again. I said, I'm not doing candy for a while. Anyway, she come in with Jolly Ranchers. I already had them Skittles. She got some Starburst and some of these little dollar store peach rings. It's kind of like I don't know what they're like, sugar-coated gummy bear, but
Yeah,
they're
Right, right.
Delicious.
Anyway, I did all of them, man. Like, holy crap. Those freaking Jolly Ranchers, man. I ate a lemon on this earlier just to see what it tastes like. Boy, man, it's just sour as it could be. it was so lemony, yeah, man. It's like, holy crap, that is so wild.
Did you do the gummies?
I did. No, I didn't. I hadn't even thought about that. I could do my gummies, couldn't I?
Well, the other gummies.
It's liable to intensify. No, that's all I did was 4 different fruits, but I've heard people doing Thin Mints, Twix bars, all kind of stuff. Man,
Russ, you might want to do that. I mean, can you think if the world was to come to end, how you wouldn't be able to get a hold of gummies, but
that's true. That's
you
true.
had to supply them, but I mean, they don't have a shelf life on them, do they? Just in the jar, right?
I guess I don't know. Look out for that thumbnail tomorrow. I'm gonna release it tomorrow.
Okay.
From this to this, that's the bags, and then there's a whole platter of freeze dried stuff.
Oh wow.
Dave, did you
Yeah.
know that if you pushed on, as being the host, if you pushed on his picture when he just did that, it'll like expand his picture, his screen?
Let's try that. Let's. It says
no
to
fair to
remove. I don't want to remove him. I
No,
want to
no.
make him bigger.
It's the
Yeah,
top left-hand corner, Simon.
Yeah.
Oh, this one right here, solo layout. Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
I have no idea. You're teaching me tonight.
And then to reverse it, you just hit it again. Is that Cheerios ice cereal?
No, that's actually the peach ring. It's about that big around.
Ring, okay.
It just looks small. It looked like a Fruit Loop.
Right.
Like it crunchy.
Oh yeah, very crunchy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's what Simon started off with. Hojo was like, and then Russ clarified the gummy type, but I got me thinking too. As soon as you said that, I was like, geez, you could probably preserve that kind of stuff.
So if
There's
you were to
more
take, let's say,
Skittles.
for example, you took the gummies and you dehydrate them down, you freeze dry them. Could you then rehydrate them in, say, vodka or something, and then they become infused?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
Crazy.
a good idea, man. I might
You're
have to
onto a
try
new
that.
product.
I make it mix clutch, man.
You may have just found an entire new market of alcoholics.
We used
I
to
can
take
see-
those
I
marriage.
can see a new unboxing on Dave's channel.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I'm going to send you a 5-pound bag of gummies. You bring them down, and I'm going to rehydrate them in vodka, and we're going to see how many it takes until David gets wasted.
There you go. We used to take those cherries, like the maraschino or however you say it, cherries, and
Yeah.
I would soak them in Everclear for like a week before Christmas parties or whatever,
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't. But
A nice clear grain moonshine, about 150 proof.
yeah, you'd want something that don't have a lot of flavor on its own, like a vodka, an unflavored vodka.
I got 2 jars out in the living room.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. Those are actually, my wife wanted them, and she's going to take them into work tomorrow just to give to everybody, just to let them, like, oh, wow, isn't that cool? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
It's
but
crazy.
then I can see the orders coming in, and you'll be so busy we'll never see you again.
I'm not doing it, man. I got this for a reason, and I even say it in this video, but with that said, there's a lot of people starting to buy these,
Yeah.
and they recoup their money in no time. I sold one last night, by the way. I had an email come in from Harvest Right and said that you've man, $209 my commission off of one sale. Like, holy crap!
Ah,
Let me.
That's almost half of what you put into that one.
Yeah, I'm like, let me sell 10 of them real quick. Yeah, couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
the channel I was telling you about, that farm that I watch. He he had 2 quart jars of the eggs, but this time I forget what the heck he freeze dried. I think it was some fruit, maybe.
Yeah, fruit does very well.
But they got geese, they got chickens, so turkeys, so he's getting all kind of eggs.
But yeah,
And
I hear you. That's that's actually turned into a big business for some just people doing it from their home. They go to these well, they create an Etsy store. You'll find them there. eBay's probably got them, and then most people, a lot of people, are just doing it local, like it at like produce stands,
right.
stuff like that. You know, just local things. We have a thing every week down here off of Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs, and all it is tents set up where people sell woodworking stuff and this and this and this. I could stockpile a lot of these. Just one thing, let's say like Skittles, and just sell Skittles, or you could do a variety. You could do anything, but I just don't want to get into it. But
Hey, Dave, put up Hojo's last message.
100%. You got it.
THC
Hope you
THC
work on this
gummies
fire station.
dehydrated, then rehydrated with vodka. You won't
He's
be working this.
100% correct, because the reason why I had to jump off camera is I needed to just answer something that just came in. I don't know if you heard the pager going off.
No.
But after 3 beers in now, I
You
just
go
had
nowhere.
to let somebody know that
Hey, Joe.
I can't leave. That's all.
Do you ever figure out what you're doing for your meal, or have you done it already?
Yeah, no, I made it.
Oh,
So
you did?
I made 18 pieces of chicken, and I made a 12-pound pork butt. Everything came out phenomenal. They all loved it at the fire station. I got a lot of great feedback, because what we're looking to do, I'm kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but what I'm looking to do is sometime in October, and it kind of follows the name of what I have here. When you give, you get back. Charitable cooking is we're going to do a fundraiser in which I need to prepare and come up with a price for what I'm going to serve the public versus what it's going to cost for the items, and make sure I have the manpower as well. But I'm looking to put 2 to 3 proteins in a box along with 1 starch and 1 vegetable. So my concept right now is going to be 3 bones, 3-bone rib. So like either probably spare ribs versus baby backs because of the price difference.
Right.
A chicken thigh and a scoop of probably a 2-ounce portion, maybe a 3-ounce portion of pulled pork, an ice cream scoop size.
Right.
And
Right.
then no, everything's gonna be dry rubbed. So as far as the sauces go, the little plastic containers, there might be 2 different sauces. That's it. The other thing that would be in there would be a ice cream scoop of mac and cheese, and I got to figure out the vegetable. It's probably going to be one of the little corn on the cobs that you buy that are frozen.
Yeah, the niblets.
The niblets, exactly. And then the cornbread. When I go to Restaurant Depot, or the restaurant store, I can pick up I think it's a 50-pound sack of the mix that's made to make cornbread, and I can make the
Oh,
cornbread
okay.
that way, which would come out to be less than a nickel a portion for a slice of cornbread. So I'm trying to keep it somewhere between $7 to $8, and then charge $20 for the box, and pre-sell the tickets ahead of time so I know just how many we need to make.
Right.
What are y'all doing? Like a fundraiser type thing for the
It's
public?
exactly that.
Okay.
And when Lance and I were discussing yesterday, this didn't come up, but it was part of my idea. What Lance and I were discussing yesterday was the accessibility to different proteins. And if you're working with a soup kitchen or you're working with a volunteer organization where they've already made the purchase or it was donated to them, to be able to take those proteins from them. Let's just use a pork butt, for example. If you're able to get the pork butt, shoot a video using it, trimming it up, smoking it, whatever you're doing. Take a little piece, just make sure that it tastes right, everything's perfect, and then you donate everything back that you cook to, say, that soup kitchen or the volunteer organization, so that it doesn't cost you the money to get the meats to cook. You're able to shoot your video, and then you're also giving back to the charitable organization. So it didn't cost them anything, it didn't cost you anything, and they're able to use it, whether it be for charity or it be for just goodwill.
Right.
And that's how I came up with the title tonight, thanks to a conversation with Lance. He sparked my interest. But
Okay.
for me, I'm going to be doing this in October, and that's going to be with a real stick burner offset. It's a 250-gallon smoker that someone's coming in with, and I'm going to need that for about 4 days to get everything done.
You know,
Wow.
something I just thought of. I don't know why I didn't think of it last week when you was asking about ideas.
Sure.
But there is a known chicken recipe out there called Firehouse Chicken, and
Okay.
it's very similar to the Southern Church chicken video that I did about a year and 4 months ago, something like that, or whatever it's been. It hadn't even been that long. But that's a really good chicken recipe too, and it's done on a flat top grill. You know, usually coals are about that far under it. You cook it pretty much direct most of the time. Then you might have to go indirect just to let them finish off. That's just delicious.
The Firehouse has a full commercial kitchen. The only thing it's missing is the deep fryer. So for that, I would just set up a turkey fryer outside. I
Well,
have a walk-in box refrigerator, walk-in box freezer,
yeah,
and all stainless.
yeah, yeah. The chicken I'm referring to is actually grilled, but just something to, if you need an idea later on, it's called Firehouse Chicken. You can Google it. There's different
Okay.
recipes. But like I said, I did a Southern Church chicken, and you're basting it the whole time it's cooking, and it just really sucks up that flavor, man. It's really good stuff.
Russ, I got my liquid smoke in the mail today.
Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah.
cool, nice.
The liquid smoke you got, that was the one that Russ was talking about from the sausage maker in Buffalo, New York? Or is that
Yeah. Yeah.
the 1 gallon? Okay.
Yeah, it's real 100% natural wood smoke. In other words, condensation from smoke. A lot of that stuff you buy, it's actually got other additives in it, including water and things like that. You don't add water to real liquid smoke; it becomes water or
Okay.
condensation.
I only got the 4 ounce size, but it's still quite a good sized little bottle.
Yeah, I went ahead and bought the 32 ounce because it don't go bad, and doing all the stuff I do, I know I'll use it again at some point.
Well, I need to make up some more sauce because I used it when the last time I did my ribs.
You got it.
Dave, ribs you were talking about.
Yep.
You ought to do St. Louis.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to do, is the St. Louis. So I was going to do
It's
spare
because
ribs.
you were talking about
baby back.
baby back and
Or spare ribs.
spare, but
Right.
if you trim the spare down, you got a St. Louis.
And then, so here's what I'm looking at, because I don't like anything to go to waste. So once I trim them, let's say I trim them at the Firehouse, let's just say, because I have more room. So the trim, that brisket trim that I'm trimming off, I guess, it would make sense to then put that through the meat you maker number 32 grinder here and use that for sausage.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? I can't have anything go to waste. So in that case, I would then take that little bit of pork that's left, grind it down, and pump out, because that thing's good for what is that? Nearly 1,000 pounds an hour.
So
So I could go through
you're
close
going
to a
be
ton an
making
hour.
some beef sausage with brisket.
So no. So the brisket on the St. Louis. So when you look at the full spare rib, when you trim them down, the brisket portion is what comes off of those ribs, and then that piece is what you grind down if you're going to make sausage. And I can combine it in with either back fat or some other fats, pork fat, or I can do a 50-50 of beef and pork and come up with a sausage that way. I don't want anything to go to waste.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you all seen this? Now they got Wagyu tallow in a spray can.
Yeah.
Yes, I have it upstairs.
Oh, really?
I have.
I haven't seen that.
What is that bull flour you're talking about in that comment? You made a comment about
the bull. So last week, Hojo and I were having a discussion about bull flour and how it's used in German sausage as a binder. And I told him that I would look into it. I never ended up picking it up. I forgot to go on Amazon. I should have done that during Amazon Prime days. But come September, when we get into the Oktoberfest season, it's the last week or two of September into the first 2 weeks of October. Either I have Oktoberfest at my house or we have Oktoberfest at a friend's house. So it's a lot of sausage that I'm going to have to pump out. I mean, we're probably talking in the range of 50 plus pounds, probably more than that, way more than that. I'm going short on that one.
yeah.
Of different types of bratwurst and knockwurst and Wiener schnitzel. You know, schnitzel is different. That gets into pork cutlets, veal cutlets, chicken cutlets that are just deep fried.
Yeah, I've done Wiener schnitzels before. Not on video, but I used to cook them back in the 70s.
Here in my backyard, I had 60 people. At my buddy's house, he was 80 something plus. We were afraid when we did this at his house that everyone was going to be like, what is this? Like, where's the Italian food? Where's the pasta? Where's the chicken cutlets? But it went over huge at his house. So we've kind of made the decision, since he's got more room, that we're probably going to move it there. So therefore, what Hojo's talking about is I need to be able to get a hold of this bull flour, do a couple of sample sausages, see how they come out. And then going forward, for sure, I'm going to end up, and here he's saying right here, Smitty's and Krauts uses bull flour as binder in the sausages, gives it a grainy texture. He brought this up last time. So when we're looking at German sausages, they're not a fine grind. You're not having a hot dog grind sausage unless you're having a knockwurst, which is like a giant a giant hot dog, a knobby hot dog.
Yeah.
So what I'm considering is putting the German beers in, putting in all the German mustards, all that type of flavor, depending upon the type of sausage, and adding in this bull flour and finding out what happens in a small batch before we start pumping out, 20 pounds of each type of sausage.
So what is bull flour?
I got to look it up again.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Bull binder.
Bull flour binder.
What is bull flour? Fine ground corn, wheat, rye, oats, and rice. It's specially treated. Wow, it's a little mixture of everything.
So if you consider what's in beer, everything you just mentioned is what's in a beer.
Okay.
It's kind of following the entire German Reinheitsgebot, German purity laws of what's in a beer. So it should go excellent, say, like with a Hofbrau.
Gotcha.
Look at that. How about that for product placement? Perfect German beers.
I've never heard of it. As far as typical sausage that I do, I use a non-fat dry milk as a binder. That works pretty good. You'd never know it's in there, but it really it makes a good binder.
Yep.
But retains moisture and just gives it a good solid bond,
Hojo, is your name Ted?
His name is, I'm inviting him to the next party, because not only does he participate in the chat, but he comes up with some great ideas. However, he's in Texas, so he's going to need a plane ticket to get here.
Well, I've got Hojo Barbecue up on Instagram. I'm getting ready to follow him, but I want to make sure it's him.
He says, yes, that's me.
Okay, sir. I'm following you now on Instagram.
Huh.
Well, I requested to follow you on Instagram.
If I ever do any German style sausages, I'll be sure to remember that. I actually have an old video that, and I did like a German. It was a German recipe. I forgot where I got it, but it was just a bratwurst is what it was.
Right.
But that really turned out good. I'd like to revisit that one day. But and I'm not referring to the more current ones where I did the. I think I did a yeah, I did a Philly cheesesteak bratwurst. That was just something from PS Seasoning, some of their kits that they supplied me.
They make
But
some amazing stuff, PS Seasoning, as far
yes,
as
they
Yeah.
do.
bratwurst and kielbasa
Yeah.
and
like
Weisswurst.
I like every sausage kit that I've done for them except for their boudin. They don't have boudin dialed in. I just didn't like it.
When you get your
Lance,
seasoning from them, are they sending you the commercial size package or the retail?
The same
pack?
stuff a consumer would get, like in a box with everything you need for 25 pounds.
Oh,
Lance,
okay.
I started following you today also.
On the I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Thank you.
I mean, all my followers. I've got very few barbecue friends following me. Everybody else has got cleavage bigger than their butt cracks. If you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, man. I'm a big guy.
Well, I'm not sorry looking at some of the pictures, but you know.
I'll try to cover up more.
IG NBL.
Hey Dave, I see you watched that video. Two guys in a cooler did. I just found it. I don't know how I missed it. Where he took cheap whiskey, or in his case, cheap rum,
Yep.
and turned it into like a gentleman's drink.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. I was like, I have got to do that at some point. Definitely got to try that.
I'll tell you, Eric comes up with some great ideas.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch them. Like when it came to some of the sausage videos, and I learned about, because I didn't know this beforehand, that depending upon your age group, and I put this into a live video, not a live video, but to one of my videos. Depending upon your age group, there's a different percentage of salt that you're willing to tolerate. The younger people can tolerate more salt. The
Yeah.
people about my age tolerate that middle of the road. And as we start to get up there to Lance's age, they tolerate less and less.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ is older than me.
In sausage, I usually go 1.5%, 1.5% salt. That's what I do.
Okay.
I've seen some people go up to 2.5%. That's just getting too salty for me.
Right. And I'm at 2%. So you're somebody's a 1.5. I'm a 2. And then
Yeah.
the younger people want 2.5. But one of the things that Eric brings up, and I mentioned this, is when you start working with cheeses, you have to keep in mind that the cheese has salt in it.
Yes,
So you're going to
absolutely.
throw up that percentage if you're working with a dry spice.
Absolutely. I agree.
And then if you put in one type of salt, but then you're putting in like a Borco powder or a Prague powder, 1 or 2, that's another salt that you have to,
You have to allow for it.
Exactly.
You have to allow, because when you buy that pink curing salt, only 6% of that is actual sodium nitrite. The rest of the salt that's carrying it, So you have to allow for that too. Matter of fact,
Eric's sausage began already. He started, I think, earlier this week. Sorry,
really?
Go ahead. Yep.
Whoop, ding, whoop, ding, whoop.
yeah, my wife texted me. Sorry, but yeah, you have to allow for all that. I did that alligator sausage a little over a year ago, and I did it for Eric's channel, and he asked me, "What did you think? How did it turn out?" And I told him, I said, it could have used less salt. I used 1.5, but I had forgotten about the the pink curing salt, and it wasn't over salty. It was just a little touch saltier than I would have liked it. And so I said I would cut back because he left the recipe on all them videos, and he said, "Okay, I'll cut it down to like 1%." I said that'll work.
I made a broccoli rabe and cheese sausage to bring to somebody's house. That tends to be the thing now in the summertime when we're going to people's homes. I'll start making a ton of sausage and bring that as the item. So I added a little bit more salt than what was necessary, not thinking that with my Italian sweet sausage and hot sausage and my broccoli rabe, because the broccoli rabe had cheese in it, it was a little higher in salt content than what was necessary. Not to mention, I seasoned the broccoli rabe with salt where I was cooking it to bring out a little bit more of that flavor. Well, when it came to the sausage and peppers, fortunately, his wife didn't add salt to that. So it helped that if you were making a sausage and pepper sandwich, that the salt that was in my broccoli rabe and cheese sausage complemented the peppers and onions that were in there instead of overpowering it. But if you
Yeah,
just picked up a sausage and decided that, it snapped and you chewed on it, those that from my age and a little bit younger were fine. Those that were older, I kind of saw them pucker in their face, like, what is this?
Yeah.
hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Your taste definitely changes with age.
Yep.
Oh, Joe, to answer your question, I've got 3 packs of seafood sausage downstairs that I got from Crescent City Meat.
I think Chud just put out a smoked salmon
Yeah.
sausage this week.
Yep.
I did
Well,
I used my crab cake recipe on hog casings. It was they tasted great, but it was a failure as far as appearance wise. And
Didn't Judd sausage also turn out too great?
I'm not sure about his smoked salmon one. I didn't watch it yet. I saw the alert for it.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine a smoked salmon sausage. It just that that one's got me stumped.
Yeah,
Now,
I've been humping boxes and furniture all week, so I haven't had time to watch it yet. But
the closest I've done to seafood would be the alligator sausage, and then I did a crawfish boudin, but neither one of them is really seafood. But
Right.
that's as close as I've came. I've got
Yeah.
tons of seafood videos on my channel, but none of them are sausage.
Well,
That's
I
what-
could see how you could put cod or swordfish or even mako shark if you grind it up and put it into a casing. As far as smoked salmon, I didn't watch the video yet, but I'm assuming you took raw salmon, put it into either a natural hog casing or into a collagen casing, and then smoked it, and that's how he came up with smoked sausage.
That'd be the right way to do it.
Now, I don't think he was starting off with bagels and lox.
I mean, any sausage, in my opinion, the meat really needs to be raw to get that proper bond and everything, and then
Sure.
you cook it in the smoking process if you want to add smoke. Otherwise, treat it as a fresh sausage and go from there. Cook it the way you normally would, whether it be a grill or whatever.
Hey, Randy.
I got to jump off of here in a few minutes. I'm not gonna leave the chat. It's just I got a pot pie in the oven.
Oh, competition, Lance. Competition.
This is a store bought. That's supper. I just realized how late it was. I started editing like at 11 a.m. And next thing I do, I looked up. No, I had a thing at 7 o'clock every night. YouTube alert comes up with all the newest stuff. 7 on the dot. I'm like, God dang, it's already 7 o'clock, and so I wouldn't finish. I was still editing. But I'll look at it again tomorrow and see if I need to tweak it or anything. But I've already transferred it to my big computer. I'll look at it later to see how it looks on there and how it sounds. The audio stinks in here because it's such a small room. It's kind of echoey, but I'll be back over Derek's next week, and we're going to get something going on over there. And
Yeah, I've been uploading videos to YouTube. My son's in mine, and this one video, I actually had to redo it 3 different times till it finally came out right.
Huh.
and I had to wind up using DaVinci.
Hmm.
Vizio, or whatever the hell you call it, it kind of let me down.
What if I ain't starting to hear your thunder now, Dave?
You hear it?
We've had a lot of rain.
Oh, by you, you're hearing it. It's
Yeah,
starting to move across. So
I'm hearing.
we got a message from the National Weather Service that a major storm was coming into town. So
Okay.
we probably got the head of the storm, and you're getting the rest of the body.
Wow, it was storming here earlier today, and then there's not a cloud in sight.
I'm looking at the weather, and it's still saying 4 o'clock for my area.
Yeah, there ain't nothing around. I don't know where all that went. It just fizzled out, I reckon.
It's either that or someone shooting off some fireworks or something. I'm hearing something.
They had
Not at
leftovers.
a distance yet.
What's that, Randy? Yeah, I seen that in my feed on Chud's video. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I wanted. He did. He surprises me with his seafood cooks. Man, he did some smoked seafood probably 4 months back. I was totally blown away by what he did.
Well,
Man.
he's from the Northeast, so
Yeah, yeah.
What did he smoke? Because I don't like smoke on certain things. It just don't belong there.
Boy, you're gonna put me on a spot. I think it was king crab legs that he actually smoked a little bit, and I think he cut them up and put a butter in them. Oysters, shrimp.
Ugh. I would never smoke shrimp. That's just me. Some people do. To me, it's too delicate of a flavor to be putting smoke on it. So is shrimp.
Hey, George.
So is shrimp. Really, the only one I know that's ever smoked shrimp that I really thought was pretty good was Brian Ducharme on that big smoker he's got. He had to run over here and say, "Man, I want you to taste these." This back when he actually worked full time when he was doing the beef jerky and stuff right down the road. And I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. But I've smoked things before, and it's like, oh my god, man, I shouldn't have done that. So I leave the smoke out of, but I love smoked fish. There's your difference. So like the smoked mullet, smoked redfish, anything like that, I like. But to me, crab meat's just so delicate, especially blue crab meat. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, check the video. It looked. I mean, of course, I didn't taste it, but it looked really damn good to me.
Yeah.
When did he put that out? Because the last one I saw today was his quickie on building that offset.
I think it's an older video, wasn't it, Lance?
Yeah, it's probably 4 months old, I guess.
Brad put up 2 videos this week.
Easiest way to find something on somebody's channel is go to their channel page, and where they have all the links. Now they got it. They've changed it. You got to hit the little arrow button to scroll across the links, but hit that little search button. That searches his channel and his only. But you can just type in smoked seafood or something like that, and it should pop up.
Right.
I see you, NBL. I had to back up to catch that comment as it went by, but I see you.
I'm looking at this one from Hojo about how Chud made that salmon sausage, and the first thing comes to mind is instead of grinding the salmon, is to cube it into small pieces, almost like you're making like an appetizer at a Japanese restaurant, like a salmon sashimi, but smaller. I don't know, to whatever they call that. Make it into small pieces, and then add dill and maybe some other dried seasonings to it, and then put that into a collagen casing, not a hog casing. Put it into a collagen casing that has a very neutral flavor to it.
Yeah.
And then smoke that or grill that. And that way you've got salmon with dill. I wouldn't put any cream in. I'm afraid that that cream, a dairy product, is going to turn on you. It's not going to last long enough, and unless you're going to cook it immediately.
I think that would be a good one there, Russ. The Hojo just posted up a smoked scallop.
Brine beforehand. Use a fruit wood, cherry apple. Good choices. Smoke it in time.
Never tried that. Like I said, smoke works with some things, and some things I
Yeah.
think, and it's just a me thing. I don't care for the flavor
Yeah.
of smoke on some things, but scallops, my wife loves scallops. I can take them or leave them type thing. We used to, we used to go around here and order big seafood platters, nothing but fried seafood, and the scallops is about the only thing that I would leave on the plate.
All right.
I'd eat the fried oysters. They always back in them days they had like little small flounder, and they would head them and gut them, but they leave the bones in. They'd fry them whole. Then they had piled up shrimp, piled up oysters, and then that was your fish. And they had some scallops on there, which is probably stingray tail around here. Scallops
Right.
aren't from this area, but stingrays are plentiful. They probably cut out the backs of stingrays.
Yeah, we were
wings.
just talking about that exact thing just probably about 30, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Skate wings.
My daughter landed one at the new place she's renting, and they want to know how to get rid of it. I said, punch your wings. I said, get some more artificial scallops out you. I ain't touching that thing.
They probably are good smoked. It's more of a fish than it is.
Well, he said fruit, and I'm trying fruit wood, and I'm trying to think of how you could actually implement a fruit juice, like a smoked with a little, light smoke with the fruit wood, but then maybe do a quick little braise with a fruit juice, and then brown them off, maybe.
How far do you live from your daughter now, Lance? Her new place?
About the same, about 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering.
By
said-
water, it would be 15.
Right. Because you're saying you got a couple crab pots. I wonder if she got any crab up her area.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Go out there, throw a couple traps, and y'all have a seafood that night.
Yeah.
If cedar planks are used with salmon, why can't you put cedar planks or cedar into the smoker?
Ugh. Don't get me started on cedar planks.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. What did I start? What bad memory?
I
came to mind?
burnt a good dish one time. I had these huge shrimp and they were stuffed. I had a blue crab stuffing and these were stuffed shrimp. And I planked them on cedar planks. I wish I would have used alder or anything other than cedar. That cedar was so strong into that
Yeah.
delicate shrimp, and it just don't agree with me. Some people love it. I haven't liked cedar planking since, and I completely ruined all those shrimp.
All right,
back-
Dave.
And back in them days, there she is. My
Your fucking pies about burnt.
oh shit, my alarm didn't go off. No, I still got 3 minutes left on it.
Not according to her.
Nope. The boss put her foot down.
I know why too, because I've got it on convection instead of regular.
Oh yeah, that cooks a lot quicker.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Sure.
All right. Dave, I
Yes.
just screwed up,
What'd you do?
I think.
You erased
Hold
my
on.
file?
Nope, don't lose me. There you go. There you go. I pushed a button and I lost the chat.
No, but
I
you were
can
still
hear you.
here. You're
Yeah, I
still
can-
on camera, so you didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I
So-
could hear you, but I couldn't see nothing.
So what I was getting ready to say, Dave, is how good cedar smells, right?
Yes.
Now, would you want that in your food?
I don't know. The thing is that it's utilized in the food business.
Well, I realize that, but you soak it in order
Water.
to cook on it.
Right. You smoke. Well, you
So-
soak it
so-
and then it's smoked.
Then that takes care of some of the flavor.
Sure.
But if you just use plain cedar, then you're going to have a strong cedar flavor.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's almost like cooking with pine.
So would it make more sense then to infuse that flavor by putting in chips?
You could do some chips mixed with other.
Right.
What do you think, guys? A cedar chip mixed with some oak or something?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've never used cedar.
Huh?
I've never used cedar, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Right.
What about a wood called sassafras? You ever hear of that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sassafras. That smells like root beer.
The Amish are using it to make kitchen cabinets and stuff now. It's like a very inexpensive wood, and it don't look half bad.
I got a ton of it up here. One of the wood guys from the fire department. Look at that. Look at that one. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I'm not scared.
She said almost burn it. That thing was. I had
Not
it.
even close.
I had a timer set for 45 minutes, and I
Now,
was with it.
now, Russ, in memory of Lance, you got to turn it upside down.
Oh,
and
I'm
eat
going to. That's why I eat them. I just don't make my thumbnails like that. That's all.
I see how this is. Give him a hard time about, yeah, what the hell are you doing? But you actually eat them that way. I'm telling you, I was like, man, if I've been eating Popeyes wrong all these decades,
No, I eat it like that, but
Next time, your next
I
thumbnail
mix
with
it all up like that.
yeah.
thumbnail with the pot pie. Get yourself the pot pie and they go like this to.
That's okay. I'm part of the Lance crew. I eat mine upside down too.
I've always have.
I never
Yeah.
tried that.
You know, I slide it in a bowl, and I'll flip it upside down, and I'll start busting all that up. And my favorite part is that crust when I get to, part of that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's also true on a pizza. A lot of people won't eat the bones. I call them the bones. And I've had friends, they sit there and got all them crusts laying on their plate. I said, "You gonna eat that?" He goes, "No, man, I don't eat the crust." I said, "Let me have it. I love the crust,
What? What's he saying? The
My puppy usually gets the crust.
cedar closet and mothballs.
That's right. I never thought about that. The cedar closet, almost like it's like eating with the humidor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
Good
is
point.
strong, boy. 'Cause I used to have do work with a lot of antique furniture and stuff. Actually, even had a little antique store for years. But you get some of those old like arm walls, and they were cedar lined, little small ones or something. Well, I tell you what, you go in there with a little bit of sandpaper, scuff them up before you put them back on the floor, and that stuff really got strong smelling.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. He goes, "I'm afraid smoke with cedar wood, and the food would taste like a cedar cloth. It tastes like a cedar tree." I didn't like it.
And what about the sassafras? There's a ton of sassafras and red oak by me. Those are the two native trees. That's a species that we see
Well,
here a lot.
the sassafras leaf, that's what filet is made from that goes in a gumbo. But the roots, we used to do fence work. My dad owned that fence business, and every now and then we're trying to cut roots out of the fence line. You'd smell that sassafras. Sassafras. So I would take some of the roots that we cut up, and my mom would make sassafras tea out of it.
Somebody say something about gumbo?
No, not me.
It sounds like Hojo's saying he actually is. He's tried it. I've never even thought about using it as a smoker wood. Like I say, the Amish are buying it up. I don't know where they're finding it at, but one of the big Amish cabinet builders around here, he's putting out a lot of furniture and mostly kitchen cabinets with it, and it really looks pretty good.
I watched a video a few days ago, and this guy went to like a big, I don't know, you wouldn't call it a yard sale. It was bigger than that. This was like over acres, but it was an Amish sale. And they were selling all kind of stuff, man. Everything from wood burning stoves, all kinds and types, all the way to carts and homemade wood splitters and just all kind of things, man. It's pretty interesting.
Have y'all ever seen, and I don't know, maybe Dave because of the location he's in, and maybe Chuck too, but Amish leave the area, like they pack up their family, their belongings, and they're getting ready to make cross several states to reroute themselves someplace else in another community, maybe even start another community, but mostly into another community. Those guys, because you talk about this yard sale thing, you would look like a huge Beverly Hillbillies intro going down the road with hanging off. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of feet of stuff just lassoed and tied tight. And over this, once they get like all the loose end pieces, just chairs and tables, and you'll just see a table that's strapped to a pile of something and the legs are sticking straight out. It's like if the driver's not careful, he's going to take the legs off when some tree passes by. But it cracks me up every time I see that. It looks just like a huge Beverly Hillbillies intro. All that stuff hanging out.
But the prices you can get some of that stuff for.
Talking about that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was reading that comment. What he's talking about cedar. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
But when I started YouTube, cedar planking, you could buy them cedar planks. It was such a popular thing, and I fell for it, and I did it, and that was the only time I did it. Like, It would have been freaking amazing if I wouldn't have done that. If I just cooked it some other way.
Yeah, I had half a silver maple fall years ago. It ain't nothing but peat moss now back in the back there.
Yeah, I can see where some maple is. We have most of our maple right here what we call a swamp maple. Now there is other maples, but a lot of our maple is a swamp maple, and I haven't tried smoking with it. I have had some select pieces of maple that I've been able to buy or something like that, and it's not bad, but I still have nothing to beat pecan for me.
We don't have maple down here, but I remember living in Illinois after Katrina, and there was a lot of maple. Matter of fact, we had a big maple tree in our backyard, and it come a freaking winter storm, and it split that tree in half.
Yeah.
It must be a real soft wood or something.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got a hopper 3/4 full and another bag of some hickory charcoal blend.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Somebody's got a new. It's Tommy. I see he's getting ready to do a video on a new type of pellet. I've never heard of them before.
Who is Tommy?
Tommy, yeah.
Okay. I got an email today from Facebook, and they're bringing back the bonuses, the Facebook bonuses on the reels. All right, thank God, man.
I have to try that. I mean, I know they make sassafras tea and all that, but I'd have to try that. It has my curiosity with that sassafras wood.
I think he was talking about it smelling like root beer.
Yeah.
And that's really what I don't know about nowadays, but root beer was made with sassafras somehow or another back,
Right. But would it be an overkill? Hojo's apparently tried it a lot. Would it be an overkill if you went as far as like to even accentuate that smell that you're getting from it and use a root beer as a spritz, maybe? Curious.
I don't know.
You could. Well, Dave, I'm going to hop off here. I thank you.
Sure.
Russ, Simon, Lance, been good talking to you all.
Hey, Chuck.
Chat, I'll see you all later. It's been fun. So I'll be still lurking in the YouTube, but I want to go ahead and get off live.
All right, Chuck. Have a good one.
All right, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it again.
No problem, buddy.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep. I'm on little sleep. Yeah.
I hate to eat in front of y'all, but I'm about to starve.
That's no problem.
I normally eat breakfast every morning or something. I ain't ate jack today. This is it. Well, I lied. I did sample each piece of candy.
And how was
Candy.
it?
Oh man, flavor explosion. Them
Oh,
peach rings. When I bit into that, I'm like, holy crap! It tasted just like a peach. I mean, it's like, man, this is freaking tastes just like a fresh peach. But I know unless they get some sort of real fruit juices in there when they make it, but I doubt it. Normally, it's artificial flavors, but
It
it
might.
sure tastes good.
It's
well,
a full 10% of fruit juice,
Is it?
a
Might
whole
be.
10%, if you're lucky.
Well, yeah.
those you said last week about those Skittles being like the old malt balls.
Hmm.
I'm assuming the other
Yeah.
cans that you had came with a different texture this time.
Yeah. The Jolly Ranchers, I didn't do them all. They are really crisp. They're more like a malt ball. The Skittles is like a poof, and it's just gone, man. It's like dissolves instantly when it hits your wet mouth. The Starburst was harder, but it's still they all crunch, and they're easy to chew. And then the I would say the peach rings that I did, they were more like they were close. They were somewhere in between the Starburst and the Jolly Rancher.
Okay.
And I had to run it a little bit longer. We tried it after 2 hours, and the Skittles were done, and then the Jolly Ranchers were almost done. Dead in the center, it was still a little more like a Jolly Rancher. And so anyway, I ran the whole thing another 2 hours. She tried all of them, but the peach rings they were still chewy in the middle. So I just extended the time on it and ran another 2 hours. I say it all in the video, or I think I used captions. Excuse me, captions on that part. But
I don't remember if you were in the lie or not, but we actually someone came up and said, I wonder if it'd even be. I mean, could you make your money back by putting out? Because I told you that local Ace Hardware up there has got that machine, but
mhm.
it's like um, $3,000, over $3,000. But I was wondering, like, I mean, if you had to buy it for like that, could you um, like make some of your money? Hope maybe at least 50% of your
You can
money.
make all of it back. I talk about that on this video. There's a lot of people that are doing these dried candies, freeze dried candies, and selling them locally or Etsy stores or eBay or whatever. But man, you can make your. I've watched other videos. I won't do it because I ain't got the time. But for somebody that wants to do this, you can buy the Mylar bags with like a little clear window, and they're real colorful. And then the candy will show through that little window, and you seal them up, and you sell them, and it's like they're making a big return. Like that whole bag right there. I don't know
Right.
what she paid for that, but I could probably turn that into God easily, probably $40 to $50. Just that one bag easily. But yeah, there's a lot of not a lot, but there's people that buys it just for that reason.
Yeah. I figured you probably could, but I mean, it'd probably take a little while because, to get some type of clientele. But I'm amazed how many people, since you started talking about them Skittles you did, how many people have actually tried them, including my children,
Yeah.
actually tried them someplace before and how good they were. And I'm like, dang, maybe you could actually sell those things and make that $3,000 back.
You can. Absolutely. Right now they're offering $500 off, and for I guess any size. I don't really know. Don't quote me on that. I know they were a week or so ago, but plus they got financing. For people that ain't got the $3,000 to drop, they could finance it and pay their bill while they're making money, and then hopefully make a lot more than the cost of that thing.
Yeah. Simon, that reminded me of something too. I want to ask you about San Antonio Riverfront Walk.
Riverwalk.
Riverwalk.
Yeah. New Orleans has got one.
You ever watch that guy called Texas Bushman?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. This guy, if you need a laugh in your life, I've watched some of the other Bushmen and pop around. You're like, they're okay. I mean, but this Texas Bush guy, he's got this growl that he can make. And I mean, and he doesn't have just one bush suit. He's got like a bush suit with twinkle lights on it, or he's got a
Oh, that
with lemons hanging off of it.
yeah, that guy's hanging like in a flower pot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
this
that
guy. I have been watching him nonstop at night. He cracks me up.
he almost got beat up a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple times. He wears a helmet on his head, he says, to protect himself. But his father just passed away a short time ago, and he's still pushing on. But that guy, I mean, and he breaks I guess, edits his videos up to like all men. And to see these all guys for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, screaming and jumping in the air. I mean, he gets like the best ones that they've caught on camera. And some of them guys are screaming out louder, can hit those higher notes than some of the women do. But if you have time, check out Texas Bushman. He cracks me up.
So he makes 1 minute videos on, I want to say, Instagram and TikTok. So that's where I've seen him. Yeah, and I recognize the Riverwalk and like the Alamo and all that part of downtown.
Yeah, he was in. I've only seen one of them. He was in Galveston Beach.
Okay.
Galveston Beach.
Galveston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones I saw recently was here in San Antonio, and it caught my eye because I recognized the location.
Beach.
Oh man, that's better. Primitive, isn't that the one Joe has? Doesn't he have a primitive pit?
He's a Yoder?
No, I'm talking about the big 1,000-gallon pit.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember who made that one.
Surely Fabrication makes good pits.
Yeah, I follow them on YouTube.
They're not too far from me. I think all they make is reverse flow, but ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, I think I'm gonna hop off, and I've been like no sleep.
All right, Simon.
It's all for early, Simon.
Yeah, well, I think my mom went to bed, so I'm gonna try to get some sleep myself. So.
Yeah.
No,
I forgot again about Dave going live, and I just finished that, and I'm like, oh crap! So I went here and looked, and there he is.
I tried to put it out earlier today so that it would show up in people's posts that I was going to come on at 8 o'clock, but I did it through StreamYard. Maybe it doesn't show up on Facebook when you schedule through StreamYard.
Well, if you schedule it to go on Facebook, it'll be a notification on Facebook. If you do it to YouTube, it'll have you live ready to go on YouTube as well.
I picked Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and I was hoping that when I did it through StreamYard, it would tell all three that I was doing that, but maybe it doesn't do that.
Are you live anywhere else other than YouTube right now?
I can tell you if it's
no.
on
I'm
YouTube.
live on live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Are you okay?
Yes.
All right.
Hojo's great. It's bison. It's a bison pit on Joe's.
Bison, yeah, that's right.
How much is it? 500 on a trailer. What is that going for? The primitive pit, 500. That's got to be a $15,000 trailer.
All right, you're not live on Facebook. I was just on your on your personal page?
It says Real Meat Stick Facebook. I'm just looking here on a StreamYard, and it says there's nobody watching on Facebook, but that it is live. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing yet. That's why I need you, Simon. You are the expert of how to do this. You figured it out. You have all the algorithms.
The first post I see on your page is from May the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, bison too.
On StreamYard, you will have to turn it on Facebook. I'll tell you to go to Facebook and click on something to give it access to Facebook. I had to do that, but I've only gone live on Facebook a couple of times through StreamYard. It
Okay.
kind of killed my the live one time like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't turned it back on.
If you sent out a notification, I wouldn't have seen it no way because I've been in editing I slept late, drank coffee, and got opening computer and got right into it. Normally I wait till the day I'm on post. I'm like, God, I just want to go ahead and finish it. That way tomorrow I can kind of look over it again, give me some fresh eyes, and see if there's anything I need to change or whatever, you know.
Well, this is why I need people that are more experienced than I am to figure this out for me and show me what to do. Oh, so Hozier says he got a notification on YouTube, 14,000. Oh, yeah, I knew it was going to be $14,000. $14,000 for a 500-gallon. It's probably on a dual axle trailer.
How much? 15,000?
14,000.
14,000.
Man,
I got a quote around here someplace. Maybe these are the quotes right here. I bet you they are. This has to be it right. Here it is. Primitive Pits, 250. I knew I had it here. I contacted Primitive Pits to try to figure out what it would cost and how long. That's the 250. So here's the 500. On skid. Nope. Let's go to the next page. This thing altogether was, I don't have the altogether page. Dual axle trailer was another $27.80. It's not cheap. That was for the 500. That's backwards. That's a 500-gallon.
Are you on your phone? Is that all that? It's backwards?
No, it's backwards because I guess the way the camera is set up. I gotta.
You go to settings.
Yep.
Go to your camera. Actually, yeah, mirror my camera. When you go to
Mirror
settings.
my camera. There we go.
Dyslexic dad would be able to read that, but I'm lost.
How's that? So there it is.
26,000, 62.
No,
Yeah.
It's still backwards though.
It is still back even. Oh, I'm looking at it. Okay. So I'm not doing something right.
Hold on. You can see that, right?
Oh, I use that same towel today to close my video out.
My towel?
Yeah, your towel. You can see it for a fleeting second. I think I need to put that in slow motion while I'm throwing it to where everybody can see.
Yeah.
Yes, I can barbecue.
So it's still backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards. You have a webcam, or is it the cam on the laptop itself?
No, I have a webcam.
Okay, you might have to mess around with the webcam settings.
Okay.
Hey, inside of the settings on this StreamYard, there's a button that says mirror my camera. You don't have that checked, do you?
I do. Yeah, I just checked that.
And you turned it off?
Yep. Well, nope, I didn't turn it off. So let's try this one. I'm going to turn this one off and see if that works.
There you go. That did it. That did it.
Ready, yeah.
I put that back up.
Okay, let's see. So this is the 500. Let's see if that comes up the right.
Yeah, that's it.
You got it.
Okay.
Perfect.
6,000. That ain't too bad for a 500.
Yeah. Well, that's on the skids.
Okay.
And then from there, you gotta. I have the breakaway smokestack. What is that called?
You got to keep adding things.
I kept everything's a la carte. So everything that's highlighted in yellow is what I was adding onto this.
I got you.
All right, I'm gonna bounce, man. I am dead
All
tired.
right, Simon. Have a good one, buddy.
See you around.
Have a good one, Simon. Maybe next week we could do the races and give something away. This week, we're not ready yet.
All right.
We're getting there.
Message me. I think I put on you on Facebook, so message me through Facebook when next time you want to do a live.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking if this works out, then Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central will be the start.
All right. All right.
Dude says Primitive's headquarters is 10 minutes down the road from here.
I didn't know they were out of Georgia. I'll be darned. Well, are you wanting that like for the firehouse and video combination, or is it just for
No, this
videos?
is my toy. Listen, I'll take this to the firehouse, but how many times do you think I'm going to be able to take it there? You know,
All right.
you know this as a professional, how long it takes to cook. So, you know, I can't hang out there all day, and people there they don't know what to do with it. They're used to cooking on a slow cooker. They have no idea how to cook real food.
Why are you what are you wanting, the 250 or the 500?
I would love if it was up to me. The 250 is great for the house. That's ideal. 500, I better get into a business.
Yeah.
I was going to say, why do you need something that big?
Why do I need a house this big? Everything I do, I get crazy.
Yeah.
Not necessary. I don't. There's something wrong with me.
It's just a lot of real estate.
Ojo's telling me I can take his 350 on his trailer with a roof for 8,500.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Wet ass pork. Wop is telling me 350. Come get his trailer on a roof. Where is he located?
Iowa, I think.
Iowa. No. Oh, well, then it makes sense. If I go out there, I pick up a couple of pigs and come back with them.
Yeah, I'm not
and
sure.
I'm not talking about the swine.
He up near state of Washington?
I'm not sure.
Too far.
I just guess Iowa, but that might be right.
Yeah.
How big around is a 500-gallon pit?
Great question.
Guggen says that Primitive also owns workhorse pits.
Yeah, that's right. They're workhorse pits. That's exactly who they are.
How much they pay? Yeah, you can't have it.
Yeah, you could get 2 whole hogs on a 500-gallon pit, I would think.
I can't have it. It's not fair.
All right, I'm off. See y'all later.
Later,
all right,
sir. If it is a little big for the backyard, unless you're cooking for a ton of people.
It's 40 inches in width, so it's
holy crap! Oh, that's 40 inches in diameter. Holy
40
crap.
inches in diameter. That's a massive. That's a massive unit.
That's twice as big around. Well, almost twice as my 24-inch.
But see, the price between a 500 and a 250 isn't that significant that it makes me want to walk away from it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. One thing about it, if you ever decide to sell it, you could sell it. You know,
I had somebody in Florida that told me to come down and I can come cook on his pit whenever I want because he's not using it, and you know it needs a little bit of a break in.
Yeah.
But it's also Florida.
He's in Florida. I got to fly to Florida to go play with it.
Usually when I do a cook, it's like I do one brisket or one pork butt or one this, and I think my little offset does everything I need it to as far as that goes.
I hate to do just one brisket when I use my smoker. I would love to just fill it with everything. 6 briskets. I can do a maximum of 6 briskets.
Yeah.
Like 12 racks of ribs, I think, more or less.
What do you have that fits that many?
It's a what the heck is it called? Old Country Smokers vertical.
Wow.
Smokehouse. Let me give you a picture.
Cabinet.
Yeah, cabinet.
Yeah.
40 inches in diameter, man. Yeah, you can crawl up inside that thing and sleep.
So, what do you think about the Shirley? What's your thoughts on that?
It's like I said, as far as I know, don't quote me on this, but I think all they do is reverse flows, which is fine if you're trying to keep an even temp. But I do like the ability of an offset where you can have 2 different temps running, one for poultry, one for low and slow. You know, if you want it, I don't think you can just be that cut and dry with it. It's still gonna You know what I'm saying? But you could definitely have a hotter side from another side by adjusting the tuning plates. But that's just me. I don't know. Now, I would take one in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, I reached out to them before I got my Lone Star grills.
Right. There's a long wait list on it, but they
That's your cabinet.
Yeah, that's my little cabinet.
Tyler
I can
from
do
Shirley Fabrication and I were going back and forth. He gave me a pretty good proposal on a unit, sent me over the pictures. It's just, it's pricey. It's here it is. This was December 28th that he got back to me on it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that.
I'll make yourself bigger on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. Good point.
Wow, man, it's a monster.
That's a big pit. Holy crap!
So he gave me this was used for 2 months. The guy moved, and where he moved to, he couldn't use it anymore.
How much?
That I'm not going to say, because if my wife catches this live stream, I'm in trouble. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, but when it goes on, social media, it's there forever. So it's a big toy, and then
That's got a warming oven on it too, don't it?
It does. That's a 30 by 60. Hold on, this is how far ahead I got that I wanted it. Hold on one sec. Let me grab this.
30 by 60.
It's a big pit.
Yeah.
At least if that's the main cooking chamber, yeah, that's pretty good.
So I was so motivated to get this that I ended up ordering some other parts. I went to Tell-Tru and had special thermometers built for it. So that's
a monster. Look at that.
That's a 5-inch Tell-Tru, but this isn't just any crazy Tell-Tru. This is this is a special order because it's not white with the black face; it's black with the white face, and this is the glow in the dark. So to give you an idea, it's not going to glow in the dark here because the light's on. But to give you an idea of what it looks like when it does glow in the dark, give me a second. Because again, there's nothing wrong with me.
Sounds to me like you didn't pull the trigger on that pit. We're about to die.
I can't confirm or deny what's on its way. I can tell you that if I happen to win a raffle and it shows up here, that's how I got it, and I'm going to stick with that story.
Now you've made it public, so
if you follow what I'm saying,
just make sure you walk in and hear that.
Yeah, she's upstairs. And
watching your love?
Hopefully not. That was her beforehand when it said Leslie.
Okay.
Yeah. She's upset because my son wants to come down here and be on the live stream like he was last week. And after what happened with Drunken Chef, I had suggested that's probably not the best idea because I don't want any problems.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shirley, they have a real small operation to be such a famous, or they did. It was just like a father and his son and maybe a few hands. But I know who has definitely closed the gap on the waiting period is Lone Star Grills because they have got a huge place now with a lot of employees, and they got it down to a science.
So that's what it looks like when it glows in the dark.
Jeez.
That's nice.
So at 3-4 o'clock in the morning when I'm outside cooking, I can see this thing from anywhere.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Very nice. I'm gone for real now. Later.
I'll hold you here all night. I'll keep you interested in what I'm talking about.
Show them some more pictures, Dave.
That's exactly it. As long as I have the photos, you're not going anywhere.
I just watch it on my TV. I'll go lay down right now.
Oh.
All right, man. Later.
Thanks.
Later, Simon.
So who's this? So Hoja has a 94-gallon, but it's his favorite cooker. It's my direct heat. Hill Country. I haven't heard of a Hill Country. Royal Fab I've heard of.
I haven't heard of them.
Shirley's 3 years out. I was all I got to do is win the raffle on this one. I can't tell you how far out it is. I just have to win the raffle.
Well, let me ask you this: whatever price he quoted you today, will that still be the same price if if you were to have ordered it, and if it were to take 3 years, would it be the same amount?
The prices go up. However, because money was already sent
You're
for
locked
the
in.
raffle, the raffle price would have already been locked in, along
Yeah.
with any of the upgrades, such as going from, say, a 2.5 inch thermometer to adding on the eyelids for a 5 inch thermometer.
Okay.
And
Well,
these, obviously, because I already have them here, that's not something he's going to bill me for. That was a special order item from Teltrue.
well, the next time you see a raffle like that, let me know about it.
Yes, as these things tend to come up. I mean, let's just say that all in, that thing could be retail as much as 17.
Woo! Holy crap!
Good thing that I decided to buy raffle tickets.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be a fireman. They seem to make good money.
Not when you're, well, you know what? Nobody makes more money than the volunteer firemen because, if I don't show up to work, they don't send me a check. And when I do go to work, they don't send me a check.
I
It's
hear
not
you.
like they can dock my pay when you don't pay me.
You still there, Lance?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dave's big size himself. He's cut us out of his chat.
Yeah.
I did not cut us out of a. Oh shit! I did. Oh, you're right.
That's funny.
I'm still getting used to this whole thing.
No, it's hard.
It's not like FaceTime where people are, you go on FaceTime and everybody's there. You got to play video producer, audio engineer, everything at once.
You got to monitor the comments. Yeah. I go live just enough to where I always forget how to do it.
Yeah, he sent out that SOS earlier. And I was like, man, I said I feel for him so bad because I've had to start a live before or part of a live, and that is just I just can't think like that. I've got to watch the chat like you all just said, and then you still got to be thinking about your question ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I felt his pain, so I answered his SOS.
Big Bill Smokers. He always has waffles. What does that mean?
Raffles.
Well, that's the way on Facebook that they
Oh,
say
raffles.
but they call them waffles.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah, Big Phil makes great builds.
I'm
Great
almost
builds.
I'm almost hesitant to even post this video tomorrow because that other one I didn't so crappy, man. That's one of the worst videos I've done in a while as far as views. It's like,
Well, I mean, people got to get to know that's what you're doing. But are you talking about the egg one or the candy one?
the egg one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's only gotten like 2.4K since last Friday. It's like, God,
What you consider to be bad
it
is
is bad for
somebody
my
like
channel.
me to be a super video.
Yeah, I just checked. I thought I lost the live a little while ago. I went and checked. I put a live up before I went on Dave's live here, and it's only got 15 views. I'm gonna try that cancel it thing.
It's a live? You went live today?
Sorry, a short.
Oh, a short.
Yeah, a short, and it's only got 15 views on it. So I'm gonna delete it and repost it right back up. Time that happens.
YouTube is so broken. I'm
My
talking
short
about
from today has 324 views.
just
Yours does, Dave?
My short from today.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the YouTube Studio analytics.
Yeah.
So it's 13 hours old and it has 324 views.
Yeah. So something ain't right. They've done something.
there's a reel that I'm looking at on Facebook. Just posted it. I think he posted it earlier today, but it's already gotten 30,000 views. Why can't YouTube do that? You know?
Yep.
Here's a. I told Darius he kind of laid down on the reels because the bonuses went away, but we were still making money with it, but not like we were with bonuses. And tomorrow they go back into effect. So I said, you need to start hammering out these. He can just use the same ones that's already over there, just recirculate them. I said, man, that's money you're throwing out the window if you don't post them on that platform anyway.
Is it safe to assume you're going to take the dehydrated over there also, Facebook?
I'm gonna do the candy one. That one could actually do really good as far as a reel. I'm gonna edit that one out myself, and I'll probably do a full length video too, but it'll be shorter than what it is on YouTube. I think there ain't really much to clip out of it. Maybe in just the intro, and then of course I got to do the ThermoPro bit. Man, I'd be glad when that's over. All I got to do is go another month, and I'm done with them. Kind of aggravated me. She bugged me 3 times to set a date so she could have a Zoom call or something like that. It was Zoom, and so finally I scheduled it, and I purposely sat here Monday afternoon, 1 o'clock my time, and logged into it, and she never did show up. I gave her 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm out of here. I ain't staring at a screen,
Yep, same thing here. It was like a group thing that went out. I don't even mess with them anymore. Once they start doing that thing where they were offering bigger discounts than what they allowed me to offer, I was like, this is just bullshit. I'm not wasting my time. I didn't appreciate that at all. But you see how young she is?
I've never seen her.
Astora
or something like that. Yeah, I've never seen her.
She looks like she's tops mid-20s.
Well, I hadn't told her, but when the next time she sends an email, said, I've already done that, been there, you didn't show up. I'm not going to do it again. My contract's almost up anyway, and that's exactly what I'm going to tell her.
Yeah, she was doing that whole thing too about what you said, a video chat. I didn't, like I said, I was like, well, I ain't messing with you at all.
Well, this was an email, and she might have sent it to everybody at the same time. I don't know, but she wasn't there. So I'm like, that was your one and only chance.
Yeah.
Because she'd already sent it out 3 times, and finally I said, all right, But anyway. God, I got to clean that desktop up on that computer. I got so much crap there.
Lance, I was just thinking, when we were talking about crabs earlier, it just hit me because now I got this craving for crabs. If you were to make those crabs, say it's like garlic crabs, could you make those on the smoker? Would the flesh from the crabs absorb too much smoke?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking if you left them in the shell, Russ, kept the top shell on them, maybe just place it back on top of it, open it up and clean them somewhat.
Yeah.
So you're not wasting that smoke in your lungs or dead man fingers, whatever you want to call them, and lay that shell back on top of them.
Do you want like a regular grill?
Well, I have the charcoal grill and I have the gas grill, but suddenly I'm thinking, like, when we make crabs, we typically will either boil them or take them live and cut them in half, clean them out on the inside, and then if I'm making them with, like, if they're garlic crabs, garlic and oil and breadcrumb, we'll stuff them a little bit, put them into the aluminum pans, the hotel pans, and then just put that in the oven. So now I'm thinking that if you're going to go low and slow with smoke, you just put them in the same hotel pans, but instead of putting tinfoil over the top, allow the smoke to infuse into the garlic and the oil and the breadcrumbs. And there's no lungs in them because you cleaned them already.
Yeah, that's totally your call. Would I do that? No, I don't want no smoke near my crabs.
Gotcha.
But I would grill them without smoke wood, and I'd make sure it's a well-established fire in that charcoal before I did it. That I have done. Grilling and smoking is just 2 different tastes, but that's just me. I grill shrimp all the time, but you won't see me smoking them,
Sure.
I tell you what, there's that I got a free bag because I answered a question correctly on a live, and I've never been able to find any more of it. And I love the coal so much that I don't want to use it unless it's something special. But you know how was it the blue bag or Kingsford came out with those flavored briquettes?
Yep.
They're crap. I've tried them all, not happy with them at all. But Cowboy came out with a garlic briquette, and I'm telling you what, it's legit in my opinion. It's really, really good, but I have not been able to find them again. I've looked and I've looked. You can find the plain ones or they're lump coal, but you can't find that garlic anywhere. And it was shipped to me out of Texas. So I don't know if it's a Texas thing or Hojo might even. He's just stepped out for the night, but I love getting my hands more of that stuff. But that would be something if you wanted to grill the crabs. Maybe with that garlic, you can actually see the garlic pieces in these briquettes. It's a real coarse briquette, and you can see the white pieces of garlic in it. When I first used it, this is no kidding. I walked out the door because I had my smoker out front, and I walked out the door and got around the corner. I got smacked in the face. I said, "Damn, somebody's cooking something good." And by the time I got around the corner, I looked over and I said, "Oh shit, that's coming off my little kettle." It was that good. It was that good.
I'm sitting there wondering. I keep coming over somebody's speakers bad.
Yeah.
But at any rate, something I used to do on the Santa Maria is I would take and throw whole onions on the fire, and you kind of infuse in that onion. Why not garlic? You already
That's
got your,
what
you know.
Google said. He
Oh,
says
just throw some garlic on the coal. Yeah, yeah. But I remember even years ago, way before YouTube, I would put like sliced onion. I'd drop sliced onion inside my fire, mainly because it made it smell like the fair. And
Yeah.
I was just trying to piss off my neighbors, like, oh God, what is that cooking? And knowing they couldn't have any.
I think Rick does that. Rick from Rick's Barbecue and Specialties.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be late live tonight too. As a matter of fact, I saw Sal go live, and I'd already seen Dave's alert. But then Rick, this is supposed to be his first day on Thursdays. He went from Monday to Thursdays.
Huh.
But I didn't see him alert for him unless I just totally missed him.
Yeah, it's possible. Like I said, I hadn't been on YouTube all day. I looked at it first thing this morning while I was drinking my coffee. Then once I get into editing, I don't usually walk away unless it's going to be one of these 2 or 3 day edits, which I hardly ever do. But I'll usually sit right there with it until I'm got it like I want it.
Yeah.
But I haven't
It makes sense to give
uploaded.
people a 24-hour notice. Just thinking about this. If I would have put this out on Wednesday, would it have made more sense that people would have noticed that on Wednesday I'm coming on Thursday?
I wouldn't. If it was me, I'd do it like an hour or two before. That way people, okay, tonight, they'll remember that. But if it's days in advance, they'll forget if they watch a lot of YouTube,
I like to do it a few hours personally. The day before, I've seen other people do that, and then it just cycles down to the bottom. Unless you're scrolling all the way to the bottom, you're not going to pick it up. But you could do a community post the day before, and then do your actual set up your live. Whatever you want to do, an hour or whatever. But I do at least a couple hours.
YouTube has these reminders. Like, let's say you did it on Wednesday. If I seen it, I could hit remind me, but I never get those reminders. They never come through. I'll hit them.
They don't go to your email?
I don't see them. No, it's like, what the hell? I just happen to remember sometimes, But yeah, you just got to play with it, man. Don't take nothing we say take it with a grain of salt. You just got to experiment and figure it out on your own when it comes to stuff like that. I don't do enough lives to even have a dog in that hunt. You know what I'm saying?
And that might be something that works better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just I'm learning a lot. Just hearing from you guys about how the YouTube algorithm works and when to post and how to put stuff up there, and in your case, 2,400 posts is 2,400 likes or views isn't a lot.
Not at
If I
all.
get 2,400, I'm gonna look like a superstar right now.
That's what I've gotten in almost a whole week. I'm used to getting 4,000 to 5,000 in the first 24 hours, and even that's low compared to what I used to do. But I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? That's an average video for me. And then after they run 2 or 3 days, it slows way down. But over time, and that's what I'm hoping that video last week could be. Over time, YouTube supposedly, and I've learned this from watching these people that know all about YouTube, and they claim that once you launch a video, if it's out of your realm of things you normally do, that it might take it months down the road. But YouTube is looking for the right people that follow things like that, and that's true for the most point, or the most part, because I've done videos and like, crap, that thing ain't gonna do nothing. Then I'll turn around and look a year later, man, all of a sudden it's gotten 30,000 views or whatever. I'm like, okay, people are watching it. Took it a while,
Right.
But
I'm just trying to figure out what draws people in and what pushes them away. And I don't think that there's any secret formula to it. There's a
nope.
computer that's looking at ones and zeros.
I will tell you this. So if you ever had a few videos that do really good, you almost get pigeonholed through YouTube to where it's almost like that's all they want you to do. Because every time I do a crawfish boil, I don't care how little it is or whatever, how bad it might be, it's still good for a lot of views out of the gate. The one I did with Keith not long ago, what was that, less than 2 months? It's not killing it, but it's up to 90,000 views. Those are the kind of videos I like, but I can't do crawfish boils every video
Right.
or anything like that. I just can't, because it's seasonal for one thing. Plus, it costs a lot of money. So I do it once a year, and I might do a seafood boil, like with shrimp and crabs, like in the fall time. Just depends. Those typically do pretty good. I've got one shrimp boil. It's over 1 million views that I did when Hurricane Nate was coming in here.
Wow.
But
million views.
Did I mention I put a short up earlier today and it got 15 views?
oh, I know, man. It's
He's got 1 million.
It's discouraging. Yeah, I mean, if you go to my channel page and look at the first thing, that's my most popular videos. But I've only got 2 that's went over 1 million out of all the stuff I've done. I got some that's poised to go over 1 million at some point, but they don't come to me easy. It just never has. But I'll take what I got. I'm good with it.
So when you're dealing with a opportunity to have 1 million views, does suddenly are there knocks on your door from people wanting to throw sponsorship and advertisements at you?
That's why on my channel page it's at the very top of videos, to where they go, oh crap, look at this. This guy gets millions of views. And then they look at my most current, like, never mind.
Yeah, NBL, watch tomorrow night news. I think they're going to have me on there, buddy.
Yeah, but I put that there just to let people know what my channel's capable of. I've got, and that's not all of them. They only list the top 10, I think, but there's some that's close to that, what I'm saying. But there's also a bunch of them that never really amounted to squat.
Yeah.
It's a guessing game for the most part when it comes to that, but eventually you'll find out what YouTube prefers you to do. I hate that. I hate that everything you do don't have a potential to really break out. But with me, I know the type videos are going to break out, but I just can't do them all the time. So, I do what I want a lot of times.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try that cancel thing on this one. If I can stay awake long enough.
That what?
I want to try that cancel thing, delete the short, and then re-upload it. At 15 views, what am I going to lose? And I'll see if it works. I'm curious to see if it works.
Yeah.
If it was Simon's
Last short got 162 views.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's nothing what it was a few months back. It was just, I mean, you could almost count on uploading it within 15, 20 minutes time.
Yeah.
You could go to analytics and watch the numbers just flip.
Yeah.
Now the past two shorts, well, 2 out of the past 3 shorts have been just stale. I thought that one about 3 shorts ago, it was 2 hours before I even got a view.
I think YouTube had some. Damn, I'm echoing. Had something in place that would, when they sent a new video, because the way it was, I remember it very well. All of a sudden, man, first 20 minutes, bam, 2,000 views. I'm like, holy crap. All of a sudden, it's like somebody turned off a switch.
Yeah.
Then the next day, boom, it'd go up like another 1,000, and it's like somebody turned off a switch. And usually it'd stop at that, maybe a few stragglers after that. I'm like, man, this is weird. Nothing like long form content.
Yeah.
But I think they might have went in there and tweaked it to where they're not throwing nothing out there. You're having to do it organically now, you know.
Yeah. Them pennies they were throwing out were adding up for them. So
yeah, cheap bastards.
Yeah. But something's definitely odd, and if it's something stale for 2 hours, you can forget it.
Yeah.
Algorithms are going to say, "Why did you even waste your time, buddy? We ain't pushing this thing."
Until they can fix it to where people can really make money with it, I'm not going to do no more. But we will do it on Facebook because we do make money with it there, you know.
I decided, I said, you know what? I don't have a video. I said the long form video of that short, it's got 17, 18 with me. They can be out. The long form of that video of the short I put up today, it's pushing 1,000 views in a few days, and that's a good video for me. But the short, so you know what? I don't have a video. I've been moving my daughter all week. I said, let me just make a short out of this long format. The long format did so well. Maybe the short will take off. And I looked at it about 30 minutes ago, and I was like, psh, here goes another one.
Yeah.
Wasted effort.
That's what I texted Jeff and them earlier. I sent them a copy of that. That wasn't the finished thumbnail. The one I showed y'all was the finished thumbnail. But I said, well, here goes nothing. You know, wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, and I even titled it thinking it would be clickbait. The big butt. I mean, come on. That's got to be drawing all kinds of guys. I put big butt, low and slow pork butt. I just said that big butt's got to be a clickbait, but apparently not.
I watched a video yesterday, and she started off with 3 balls of aluminum foil. She goes, I learned this from a plumber. You put these in you put these in your tank on your toilet, and this happens. She goes, but before we get into that, let me show. She went and she said it for the very end. So I kind of scrolled through it just to get to that part. And she goes, putting these 3 aluminum balls in your tank will do absolutely nothing. It was clickbait. It's like, you bitch, like that. So I hit dislike and backed out of there. I don't never hit dislike, but that was clickbait city, man. It's like,
did I really spell it with 2 B's? I thought I changed that. But it's spelled with 2 T's. I thought I changed that.
When did you do it today?
Sir? Yes, sir.
At one point, didn't you have it written as 25 and a half hours?
I did. That's the long form video that's got probably it might have 1,000 views on it already. But that was a fat finger. the two T things. I thought it was spelt two T's, and I searched it. So no, it's only one T. So I went back. I thought I took it out.
Simon posted a live that was an old live he posted 9 hours ago.
I should have caught it WAP.
I'm looking for it. I'm having to scroll down through. I don't watch shorts, so excuse me, y'all, if I never comment on any shorts. I just don't watch them.
Yeah, I watch people's shorts when Al jumps up on there, when Trumpet jumps up, when Simon jumps up, when I see people I know, when Randy jumps up, when I see people I know, I watch their shorts.
Yeah,
I'll give them a thumbs up, and if if I can very quickly write something back, I will, or else I'll circle back later on and write a comment. Just to
I
be able
know.
to support the people that around me. We
Yeah.
reciprocate the same support.
I get it. It's just me and shorts, man. Just I do reels on Facebook, but like I said, Derek edits all that. I don't ever even look at him. He'll just take my content and break it down to a reel and do it. We're doing that. Oh, there we go. Shorts. Big butt, low and slow. BUTT. I mean T. Big butt without the other T.
You need two T's in butt.
Where is it? Big butt, low and slow. 18 views.
Yeah, Shane.
You could change it. You're not going to hurt anything at that rate.
Yeah.
Might even spark something. Who knows? Normally, I hate to go in there and re-edit anything on a video unless I see it's plummeting. Then I'm like, matter of fact, I did that with the one I said ain't done good. I changed the thumbnail completely and I retitled it. Nothing yet, but I'm just going to leave it alone. Time will tell.
Yeah. Dave, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, buddy. I'm going to go take care of that. I got to get into bed.
Damn, it's 10:30 already. Yeah,
it's 11:30 by me. I sort of gotta follow the same regiment.
Yeah.
I get up at 5:30 in the morning. So
yeah, let me get off here too then, so you can get to bed and just want to come here and hang out a little bit.
And I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we'll do this again next week, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific.
All right, man.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you,
All right.
everyone, for joining me.
Later.
Chat. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.